40 years, homeowners and DIYers have trusted Barton's for their home improvement needs. From small projects to remodels to building a home, our experts are here with the tools, knowledge, and advice to make your project a success. With 10 100% employee-owned locations across Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri, delivery, installation, and free design services, Barton's is your trusted partner for every project. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
At Glen Zane, we've spent over 70 years trying to do things the right way, with honesty, heart, and hometown pride. With 4 locations across Paragould, Rector, and Kennett, we offer a wide selection of GMC, Chevy, Buick, and Ford vehicles, and service centers to keep them running strong. We're a family-owned business, and we treat every customer like one of our own, because after 70 years, that's what matters most.
Welcome everyone to 3A Sports coverage of the high school football game between Brad Davis along with the coach Randy Coleman. We're here in Mississippi County. It's homecoming in Manila as the Manila Lions will host the Harrisburg Hornets tonight, Coach. And this has kind of been a little budding rivalry through the last few years between these two teams.
Yeah, I think you've got similar number of players, you've got similar school size, and I think you're going to see, homecoming added into it. I think you're going to see two teams that are desperate for the first win of the conference season, but also, playoff hopes are still alive at this point of the year, and if you can get that first win to kind of get momentum going, really could jumpstart your season, so I think that's what we're looking at tonight.
Yeah, the Hornets coming in 1-4 after the first win of the year last week at Biggin. So technically, with 5 teams going, we're still right in the middle of the playoff ball here.
Yeah, and this, when the conference takes 5, this could be a big step in the right direction. But Manila with the veteran coach Ben Fisher, who has a ton of experience with Lyman and has been around the block against young coach Austin Jarrett. I think you're going to see the contrasting philosophies of what these guys are motivating their teams with and how they can motivate them to push forward to the playoff series.
Absolutely. A lot of football still left to play. Harrisburg coming in 1-4, like you said. Manila 0-5, but had a strong showing last week against Hoxie, losing them 13-6, their best out of the year.
Yeah, and what I'm excited about is watching Manila. They'll throw it around a little bit with Patrick Fisher at quarterback. A lot of the air raid philosophies from the Mike Leach and the Hal Mummies of the world. You're going to see a lot of crossing routes. Brody Morris at the running back position is kind of the guy that is the neutralizer. Everything I think is kind of going to go through him, but I really like the way they spread things out. They're a little thin up front. I think that could be something that plays a factor down toward the third and fourth quarters, because you've got guys playing both sides of the ball. But I think we're going to see a clean football game, and I think it could come down to late in the fourth quarter who decides this one.
And playmakers kind of
on both sides of the ball. I think where where it gets a little sketchy is the depth on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Offensive and defensive lines, a lot of those guys play both ways. And you got to understand, banging heads with guys every snap could lead to, fatigue down the stretch. So it could, be determined by who's in better shape.
Well, budding rivalry kind of here. It's been a tight contest the last few years. It's homecoming night here at Manila. They've crowned the queen now, so we're going to throw it to the coaches show, Manila players, and we'll be back here as we inch towards here on NEA Sports coverage of live high school football.
Here live for our Barton's Coaches Show here with Coach Snyder, the Truman Wildcats coach. In your first year here at Truman, first I want to just ask, your background and how you landed here, and then we'll get to the ball game.
Got you. Well, I started coaching in Earl, coaching Marion, under some really good coaches. I got to learn a lot and just kind of built my portfolio of how I want programs we run through learning through some really good coaches in those spots. And when my opportunity came for an interview, really was able to lay my plan out for the admin here, and parents matched up with the things they were looking for.
Okay. Second week of high school football, called week 1 though because of the week 0 scenario. Coming off a loss against Nettleton, but 5. I want to welcome everybody to our coaches show here. Ryan Fletcher, joined by Coach Fisher over with the Manila Lions coach. Here tonight, going to be broadcasting your Lions and the Harrisburg Hornets. Obviously, a big conference matchup for you guys. I know so far not the start you wanted, but the bottom line is things are far from over, and you guys control your own destiny in terms of getting into the playoffs and achieving one of those major goals. So if you would just talk to me a little bit about that at first.
Yeah, the season hasn't gone like we had kind of planned. We had some injuries early, and we're down to 6 linemen, and I always feel like the games are won and lost up front, and we're hurting up front. We're thin, we're banged up, and that's just not a good combination when you have to play the teams that we've played, and then we still have to play.
Right, and then I'll say this: in just looking at your schedule, that non-conference schedule was not easy by any means, and then you guys play in a conference that is incredibly tough.
Yes. We had the 2A runner-up from last year, EPC, and I think they're even better this year. And then Mark Tree was, they're 2A, but they were in the Final Four last year, the playoffs. And then we stepped up 2 classifications and played Paragould. And it was just a gauntlet, but I kind of feel that's what we have to do to get prepared for Osceola, Rivercrest, Newport, Walnut Ridge, Oxley, Harrisburg, So we could try to find teams that were, I guess, more on par with us, but I don't think that makes us better.
Sure.
And, it might build our confidence a little bit better, but, we got to get ready for that brutal conference schedule.
No doubt. So, as we mentioned, you play Harrisburg. This is a conference matchup, and you guys are in a battle for one of those playoff spots. Let's talk about offensively first. When we come and we cover this game, what are we going to see, and who are we going to see on the offensive side of the ball?
We spread it out, and ultimately we want to run the football. And I just feel like we're undersized every game we play. And if we try to get in there with 2 tight ends and full house backfield, I just feel like the other teams are bigger and stronger than us. And I think we play into their hands when we do that. And so we try to spread you out and just looking for the one-on-one matchup, but ultimately we want to, our goal is to run the football. And I feel like running it out of the spread is best for our personnel and our linemen. And our whole offense goes through number 5, Brody Morris. He's our best running back, our best athlete, and we're going to try to get him the ball however we can, try to get him in some space, and create those one-on-one matchups, because we think that he might be as good or better than some of the guys that he's going up against. And then when we do throw the ball, we have about 6 or 7 really good receivers. And, if we could just hold up front and give Patrick, our quarterback, some time to throw the ball, because he's all year, if you look at his completion percentage, you're like, golly, this is terrible. But he's making the right reads. He's getting the ball out quickly. It's just, teams we've played are just, they're athletic, they're big, they're fast, they're strong. And so, but the little things, like when you watch film, he's making the right read, he's getting the ball out quickly. Just the reality of it is, though, we just got to get better balls to our receivers so they can, make a catch.
You mentioned 6 receivers. Talk to me about who maybe see a big share of those targets this week.
Our top receiver is he's a senior, number 1, Hudson Harrison. He plays up slot, and we try to get him the ball, and he's our fastest guy, he's our quickest guy, and here lately we've actually been lining him up in the backfield too, so he can run the ball. But he's our leading receiver last year, and he came in and he's leading the team right now in receptions, and then he's tied for receptions with another senior, Dakota Miles, he's our outside receiver. And Dakota has, he's caught some big balls for us against EPC. He caught 2 big 4th down passes to keep the drive going. And then we have Dylan Overman on the other side at the slot, and he's a junior. And he's our possession guy. He runs great routes. May not be as fast as the other guys, but he runs really crisp routes, and he's got great hands. And so, we try to create some space for him so he can catch the ball. And just we're looking for 4 yards. So to us, a 4-yard gain is great. So, and then our other outside receivers, we have Aiden Sharp, and then we have Brady Kahn. And Brady will line up at receiver and at our H-back tight end position too. He can kind of do both. And then, Aiden's a really good athlete. I think he only has 1 reception on the year, but, he runs the screen game really well, and, just try to figure out ways to get him the ball too.
Okay. Now I want to transition up over to the defensive side. As a 3A school, I know, as most schools, and even in 4A, we see that a lot of kids are going to play on both sides of the ball. But just talk to us about things from a defensive standpoint.
We feel like our D-line is actually pretty solid. They're undersized, but they fire off the ball. They move well. They have good feet, good hands. And it all starts with our defensive end, Caleb Birmingham. And, he does a really good job of reading his keys and staying home. He doesn't try to do too much to where he gets himself out of position. And so, that's all you can ask for. And then the other defensive end, Clayton Hawkins, he was our second leading tackler last Friday night against Hoxie. And he's played really well the past 2 weeks. He's probably our biggest, strongest kid. And he's played really well, and both of those guys go both ways. And then our nose man, Chris Barber, he actually has had to step into that position because of injuries. And, he's done a solid job. He's a little undersized, but he moves well, and he's built low to the ground, so he's hard to move. So that's good. But then our 2 inside linebackers, who are 2 leading tacklers on the season, Brady Kahn and Dawson Howard, have been the last 2 games. They've actually been playing really well, not getting caught up with what's going on in the backfield, reading their keys, making good decisions, and just kind of being where they're supposed to be. And good things happen when you do that.
Then on the back end, Hudson Harrison's been playing well at corner, and Dakota Miles has been playing well at the other corner. But Brody Morris is he's our difference maker, and he plays free safety. I think he has 2 interceptions on the year, and then Friday night he actually had 2 tackles where he calls 2 different fumbles, and so he's playing really well for us right now.
Okay. And then just if you would, your opponent, Harrisburg Hornets, again, a conference matchup. Both teams have the same goal in mind, is trying to get into that one of those playoff spots. Talk to us a little bit about them and just what you can tell us about Harrisburg.
I look at them on film, and they're very similar to what they do. A very similar thing to what we do, and they have a really good. He's played some quarterback, he's played some receiver, he's played some running back. Number one, I think they're going to try to run their offense through him. He's there on film. He's been their most dynamic player, and he's really good. And we just got to know where he's lined up, whether it's at quarterback or receiver or running back. We just we got to make sure he's accounted for, and we know where he is at all times.
But Coach, we just want to wish you guys best of luck looking forward. And I know it's homecoming week, I believe. So, I know there's some distractions involved with that, but, still we're looking forward to this game and wishing you guys the best of luck in this conference matchup.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay.
For 140 years, homeowners and DIYers have trusted Barton's for their home improvement needs. From small projects to remodels to building a home, our experts are here with the tools, knowledge, and advice to make your project a success. With 10 100% employee-owned locations across Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri, delivery, installation, and free design services, Barton's is your trusted partner for every project. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
At Glen Sain, we've spent over 70 years trying to do things the right way, with honesty, heart, and hometown pride. With 4 locations across Paragould, Rector, and Kennett, we offer a wide selection of GMC, Chevy, Buick, and Ford vehicles, and service centers to keep them running strong. We're a family-owned business, and we treat every customer like one of our own, because after 70 years, that's what matters most.
Hey, Northeast Arkansas, Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually, we are. We're at the top of our game, bringing NEA incredible selection and exceptional service. To back that, Central was awarded, yet again, General Motors Mark of Excellence. From Chevy to Toyota, Nissan to Ford, we have the perfect ride waiting for you and the best service to get it to you. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today or shop us online.
No matter what the job calls for, contractors can count on Barton's. With your own dedicated sales representative, you'll get personalized support and accurate material takeoffs to keep your project on budget. Need flexible financing? We offer in-house accounts and financing options. Plus, take advantage of our product holding, on-site delivery, and professional installation of flooring, cabinets, and vanities. Supplying local contractors for 140 years. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
Since 1945, we've been more than just a bank. We've been deeply rooted in communities across Arkansas, growing alongside the families and businesses we serve. We started the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Stuttgart, Arkansas 80 years ago to ensure working folks could borrow money to run their farms, fund their businesses, and build their families' futures. Today, Farmers and Merchants Bank is proud to continue supporting our communities, including our students and athletes. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
At Glensane, we know extra time is hard to come by. Your hands are full, your days are packed, and time doesn't slow down. We work hard when you have a service issue. With full service centers at each of our 4 locations, we will always do our best to make it.
Welcome back to Manila, Arkansas. It's homecoming night here in Manila as the Lions and the Harrisburg Hornets will do battle in this 3A-3 conference matchup. Both teams just running out and onto the field as we get ready here. The Hornets won the toss and deferred to the second half, and so the Lions will start with
can't wait to see this kickoff.
The master,
I think unless you Jared of Harrisburg is prepared for a 4-quarter battle right now.
Well, we are getting set for opening kickoff. We've got Harrison Morris and Miles back to receive this kickoff, and it will go to Hudson Harrison, and he'll bring it over, get some room up the middle, and a good return and start there to about the 37-yard line for the Manila Lions.
You know, when Hudson Harrison's a returning starter and one of the leaders on this team, and you know, he's definitely one of the playmakers they want to get the ball to, and Coach Fisher put him back deep and sets him up with good field position to start the night here.
1st and 10 here to start for the Lions. Patrick Fisher will be the play caller for the Manila Lions. He's got Brody Morris to his left.
And I think we're going to see a lot of Brody Morris tonight. He, you know, watching him this week, getting ready for the game, he's a good football player.
Harrison's in motion now. He's going to join him in the backfield. He's got one split H wide, and there's Morris on the handoff. And he's going to shuffle his feet, still on his feet, dodges a couple of tackles until number 88, Aiden McClinney, brings him down for Harrisburg.
You know, and I think you see his athletic ability from the get-go right there with the little that motion the receiver to the backfield just to give a little smoke and mirrors, but it's a Brody Morris handoff on the outside zone all the way. A little loose with the football out there, kind of come out late, but 11 yards enough to get them to midfield and another first down.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Gain of about 13 yards on that run, and they're going to go with Harrison the other way, and he's going to be stopped short. Number 3, Grayson Harkey on the stop there.
And, you know, I like what Coach Fisher does with this offense and you know, getting the ball to many different players. Hudson Harrison's a receiver by trade, but, you know, plays a lot in the backfield. And, again, it's just a way to try to get playmakers the ball. Anywhere you can move them around to get it, you got to do so.
Going to go to Morris there on the left side. He's going to get a couple, get across the 45 before being brought down by, trying to get a number here, 0.
Number 5, Brody Morris on the carry.
Alberto Guzman with the stop on there. Ball's at the 45 is going to be about 3rd and 5 here for the Lions.
And, you know, I like, you know, a second down and 6 from that situation. You're at midfield. You really start thinking you're in 4-down territory. So, you know, the run is a good call right there. It's a good conservative call. think you'll probably see something similar right here.
Now Fisher's going to keep it. He's going to be met in the backfield pretty quickly.
Yeah, just a good job by that defensive front of Harrisburg right there, getting penetration in on Patrick Fisher. But, you know, again, once you get across midfield, you're in 4-down territory. You know, there's no doubt in the mind of Coach Fisher right here. He's going for it on 4th and 6, but I think we'll probably see the ball put in the air right here.
Yeah, Adam Morgan with the stop there, leading a group of Hornets on the stop. They lose a yard, so it's going to be 4th and 6. Fisher in the gun with Morse with him. He's got 3 to the right, and he's going to find a receiver sitting in the middle of that zone. That is number 9.
Patrick Fisher's pass is completed.
Dylan Overman with the catch and the first down for the Lions.
You know, and I love that concept. It's just it's really curl flat at a 3, you know, a 3-by-1 look where that guy is just coming inside, trying to sit between linebacker and outside linebacker, sitting in the zone. Good job, good delivery by Patrick Fisher out there, and Manila Lions good first down.
Harrison in motion, Morris in the backfield. Somebody's going to move up front. It looks like Manila moved, and that's going to be a false start and a 5-yard penalty.
You know, one thing we reminded ourselves all the time on Friday nights is these are kids, you know, and they get excited about playing on Friday nights. You got a crowd of people watching, and the nerves get a little too much at times, and, you know, a little false start, but nothing you can't overcome. And you know, you just line back up and get ready to go again on 1st and 15.
Yeah, 1st and 15 now. Ball's about the 44-yard line. They're going to look to pass, a little swing pass out to Morse, but through his hands and falls incomplete.
Yeah, and that's really just an extension of the run game right there. They're trying to send receivers vertical down the field, get everybody dropping in coverage and swing it out to Brody Morris in the flats, but unfortunately he was unable to come up with that ball.
So it'll be 2nd and 15 as we are under 9 here, 8:58 in this opening quarter, opening drive for the Lions. As the snap's back to Fisher, he's going to look the other way, and it's going to be a little screen for, I believe, number 4.
Yeah, and that's just a little slot tunnel screen, which, you know, you see linebacker blitz by Harrisburg right there, and honestly, when you make that call and you see a linebacker coming, you know you're in good shape because, you know, they're taking one man out of pursuit, and he does a good job of getting that ball on his upfield shoulder. He gets upfield. Now they're in, you know, 3rd and long, but really, you know, 3rd and long right here where you're in their territory, you're looking to get half the distance back.
That was Aiden Sharp on that catch. Here's a handoff to Morris. He's going sideways, and he loses the football here, and that is number 10 for Harrisburg, Leighton Ballou, who recovers the fumble at about the 45, and it'll be a turnover to the Hornets.
You know, unfortunately for Brody right there, he's hustling, trying to make a play, and he's, you know, I mean, from Pee Wee on up, you're taught to put the ball in the outside arm, and he's trying to switch it as he's cutting back across field, and in the exchange from arm to arm, he loses it, and Harrisburg picks up the ball.
So number 7, Briar Jones, will take the snaps here for Harrisburg, and there's going to be a flag on their first possession. Ball's about the 44. It's going to be a false start. So they'll start 1st and 15 in their opening possession. Briar Jones at quarterback with Grayson Harkey, number 3, in the backfield with him. He's got 2 split out to his right here in this opening formation. Hand off to Harkey. He's going to find some running room, and he gets into the secondary, and that's going to be Hudson Harrison that brings him down at the Manila 40-yard line. Good run there by Harkey.
Yeah, just a nice little inside handoff right there to Harkey. He cuts inside, gets to the second level, makes a couple guys miss, and gets a good 17-yard gain.
Gets it actually spotted at the Manila 39, 1st and 10 for the Hornets. As Jones has Harkey to his left, and then now Trent Fitzgerald to his right, and there's going to be a penalty. And it looks like initially offsides on Manila, and that's what they got, an encroachment. So it'll be a 5-yard penalty And a 1st and 5 for Harrisburg.
You know, in a 1st and 5 position as a coach puts you in a position where you can open up the playbook. You can get aggressive if you want to. You can stay conservative going with your run game. But I wouldn't be surprised right here if Coach Jarrett really tries to put some pressure on the Manila defense, but he's going conservative.
Yeah, he hands it to Harkey over the right side, and he's going to gain some tough yardage there of about 6 or 7 and get a first down for Harrisburg as they go from 1st and 5 now to 1st and 10, and that ball is spotted about the 27 of Manila.
You know, you try to look at tendencies when you're watching a football game, and right now, they got an H-back in the game, which is a glorified, guy that's kind of in between a running back and a tight end. And right now, both runs that Harrisburg has ran tonight have been toward that H-back. That's something we'll probably want to look at as we go throughout the night.
Javen Thompson and Remington Rapert stacked out here to the left with Jones and Harkey in the backfield. And they're going to go back to Harkey again. Manila gets through the line to meet him at the line of scrimmage.
Just a nice job of defeating the blocks right there by the Manila defensive line and allowed the linebackers to come in there and clean it up and, get a no-gain stop from the Manila Lions.
Brady Kahn there on the tackle. No gain, so it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Manila 27 for Harrisburg.
You know what, Brad, if you're not romantic about high school football, then I don't want to be your friend. You look at the haze over the field and the smell of the grass. This is a great night for high school football.
Screen pass out there to Remington Rapert. He gets a block from Javen Thompson and gets up close to the first down at around the 20-yard line. Looks like the 21 is where they'll mark it.
Yeah, just a nice little throw, the upfield shoulder by Briar Jones. He puts the receiver in a good position to catch the ball and get straight up the field. So now we got a big 3rd and 2.
Receivers still stacked out to the right. Harkey and Jones in the backfield. Snaps to Harkey. He's going to look to throw it. Look deep, but then swings it out to Rapert, who gets the first down and is knocked out of bounds.
It's the same play that they just run. They try to, set them up with a little fake to the guy running the hitch and run the fade behind it. Manila doesn't fall for it. They cover it deep. Briar Jones does a good job of swinging it out there to his check down, and they get a first down out of it.
It's going to be 1st and goal for Harrisburg. Ball spotted at the Manila 9. And they're going to hand off to Harkey over the left side, and there's number 15, Dawson Howard. It meets him early in the backfield, but there is a flag on this play.
Anytime the umpire, the man located in linebacker depth, throws a flag, it's probably a holding on the offense.
And that's what we'll have, holding against Harrisburg. So they'll step that off, repeat first down, I'm sure, in a long 1st and goal upcoming for the Hornets. Bruce Gartman, your white hat official, and his crew working this 3A-3 contest on homecoming night for Manila as they host the Harrisburg Hornets.
And as of right now, Javen Thompson has yet to touch the ball. I think he's one of returning from the 2024 season. He's one of the really good players for Harrisburg.
There's going to be another penalty.
And those are the kind of penalties that drive you crazy as a coach because they're self-inflicted. And, the pre-snap penalties, any kind of post-snap penalty that happens after the play are things that, you want to stay away from. They're drive killers is what they are.
Yeah, 1st and goal from the 9 and then back it up to the 16 on the hold and now from the 21. So 1st and goal from the 21 for Harrisburg. Number 1, Javen Thompson split out here left, and 2 backs in the backfield as they'll hand off to Rapert. And a couple of lines meet him there around the 20, maybe a gain of 2.
And they go with a really heavy set right there with two tight ends in the formation and try to run between the tackles. Manila Lions do a great job of kind of thwarting that run play right there and puts Harrisburg in a situation now here where you're second and goal from the 18-yard line where you're probably going to be forced to put it in the air.
And they will look to pass here. Looks left, gets Thompson over the right side. He's hit hard by number 25, Emmerich Stone. And that'll bring up 3rd and goal now from about the 11 or 12-yard line. Looks like they spotted it around the 12.
And, nice little throw and catch on the slant route on 2nd and long. Puts them, 3rd and goal from the 11, where you're probably going to have to put the ball in the air right here to try to get it in the end zone. Manila doing a good job right now of bending but not breaking. Let's see what they can do right here.
Clock ticks under 4 minutes in this opening quarter. They look to pass. May have been trying a little hook and ladder there as he kind of looked off to the left as he caught it, but good job by the Manila defensive backs there to bring him down on the catch.
Yeah, you definitely could set up that hook and ladder in the future for that, but that's that little the base concept is curl flat where the guy runs the curl inside the linebackers and you run a guy in the flats, but that time they turn that flat route into a wheel route where he's up the sideline. Nice little throw and catch, but it puts them 4th and goal from the 5 right here.
Yeah, Javen Thompson, number 1, tackled by Hudson Harrison, number 1. We got a 4th and goal from the 6. Jones back to pass into the end zone. That's going to fall short and incomplete as Harrison was in on the coverage there, I believe. May have been Aiden Sharp as well, but in any case, that's going to fall incomplete, and it'll be a turnover on downs to Manila. And the ball will be spotted at their own 6-yard line.
One thing that's kind of hard to teach quarterbacks is you get 4th and goal, and really, you take interceptions out of it. But it's kind of a quarterback's nature to try to stay away from trouble. He throws it a little bit too low, trying to be careful right there when you try to just throw it up and let everybody make a play for it and see what happens.
Split backs. Will hand off to Brody Morse. He's battling through a lot of contact, still on his feet. Gets just past the line of scrimmage, maybe just to it.
Brody Morse on the carry.
As a host of Harrisburg Hornets, led by number 16, Adam Morgan, brings him down. He looks like he gained a couple there. It'll be about 2nd and 8 from the 8-yard line.
And, backed up on your goal line, you're just trying to give yourself some room where you feel a little more comfortable as a play caller, trying to be aggressive. But, I would expect, Manila right here to still be conservative, try to give them a little more cushion out of their end zone.
They're going to hand off again to Morse. He goes up the middle, and he'll get a couple more as number 10, Blake Ballou, led the charge there with the tackle.
Well, now you got a little cushion. You're up near the 10-yard line where you've got full drop by your punter if you have to punt on 4th down. But 3rd and 7 right here, I would expect Coach Fisher to try to either get some kind of outside run or throw it deep right here.
H-back motions across. They're going to hand off again to Morse coming over this side of the press box where we are, and he's going to be dragged down by number 88, Aiden McClaney.
And I don't, from here, it's hard to tell how close he got to that first down.
Looks like they're spotted at the 16, so it's going to be close, just past the 15. They started on the 6, so.
Most times when the side judge waves to stop the clock, it's an indication of the first down, and that's what we get right here.
The officials confer, and they're going to give the Lions a first down on a good run there by Brody Morris. And he's been kind of the bell cow here early, Coach.
Yeah, I watched a couple games this week in preparation for the game, and was really came away impressed with Brody Morris. He's a good athlete. Does a good job of fighting for extra yardage. He's a little loose with the ball, which we saw in that first possession. But, I think he's a really good player.
They're going to give it to him again as They motioned over to the right side. He cuts it back to the left and is tripped up around the line of scrimmage. Grayson Harkey kind of in on the play there. He's going to gain maybe a couple to get second and about 8.
Yeah, and that's really the same play they ran on the previous. They're trying to get outside. Harrisburg defensive end gets a little penetration up the field, forces them to cut back in, and Brody Morris does a good job instead of trying to outrun somebody to the sideline with good leverage. Puts his foot in the ground, cuts upfield, and gets what he can get, and now they're in a good manageable second down.
Back, slides across. There's another penalty marker down. Looks like somebody jumped, and that is a false start on the line, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty and second down at about 13.
Yeah, right now, tonight it's kind of been a little sloppy on both sides with the pre-snap penalties. Really kind of keeping, both offenses from, getting into a rhythm like they really want to. I think that's probably nerves from, high school kids getting out here on a Friday night. Hopefully that'll settle down.
3 split out to the left, 1 to the right. They're going to look to throw. It's a catch made by number 9, Dylan Overman. Harkey made the stop as soon as he caught it, and that's going to take us 23 seconds. I thought they were waving the play, but there is a penalty marker down. That's why they're stopping it. Some applause from the line huddle there, so let's see what we have. Ball was caught around. This will be a personal foul against Harrisburg.
Which, Brad, I'm kind of 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other when you come to officials and their calls right here. But, really no designation of what that was. I know personal foul, which really helps out the Manila Lions right here. But, it's kind of hard to tell what happened there. I didn't see a face mask. So.
Yeah, he didn't indicate a face mask. He didn't indicate. I don't know what the where it was, if it was on the play of the ball or away from the ball, but in any way they're going to spot the ball up around the 35-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10, and the clock clicks to 0. So we are at the end of the first quarter here in Manila, where Manila and Harrisburg are knotted up at 0 apiece. We're going to take a short commercial break and be right back on NEA Sports.
The Harrisburg School District serves the community of Poinsett County to offer the highest quality education possible. From 3 little log huts in Poinsett County in 1868, the school system has undergone many changes. The district goals are to increase student achievement and to ensure the schools are trusted as a safe place for students, staff, and the community. The Harrisburg School District proudly supports the Harrisburg Hornets in all of their athletic endeavors.
The Harrisburg Athletic Booster Club is a proud supporter of today's game and all of the student athletes in the Harrisburg School District. Go Hornets!
Nothing better.
We are back here in Manila as Coach Coleman's still getting choked up over the haze over the field. But we go to the second quarter. It's 0-0. Manila and Harrisburg 3A-3 conference battle.
There's nothing better than Friday night, Brad. I mean, just look out there. I mean, the stands are pretty full, and it's homecoming night. And you got guys going to battle out there.
That didn't look illegal at all. We'll see what they come out with. That's going to be a false start on Manila. So instead of 1st and 10 from the 35 to start the second quarter, they're going to back it up 5 yards and have a 1st and 15 from the 30. Each team with an opening quarter possession. The Lions fumbled at around the 40-yard line on their possession, and the Hornets got down to 1st and goal but couldn't convert in 4 downs, turned it over on downs. So this is the Lions' second possession of the evening as Patrick Fisher gets the play from Dad, Ben Fisher, and he'll enter the huddle.
I caught Coach Fisher a little bit before the game, and he said it's fun coaching the son, which I would assume it would be. And Gotta love watching your kid out there.
3 split out to the left, 1 to the right, and they look to pass, but that's number 35 for Harrisburg. Trenton Ramsey causing havoc in the backfield, and he's going to get the sack on Patrick Fisher, chasing him down. Going to be a loss of 1, so it'll be 2nd and 16 for Manila.
And that's what when you're watching games on Saturday and Sunday, that's what they'll call a coverage sack. Really nowhere for Patrick to go out there, and tries to scramble out and get something out of it, and just gets caught down from behind. Good play by the Harrisburg defense. Good coverage. Forces a long second down play right here for the Manila Lions.
3 up top on the right side for Fisher, 1 to the bottom. Morris in the backfield, and he tried to go over the middle, and there is number 53. Looking for his name here, Peyton Self. He's going to knock that down and bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, and Peyton does a good job right there of, what coaches teach a lot of times. If you're rushing the quarterback and you cannot get there to make a sack, to get your hands up, at least force a throw, but try to get your hands on it, and he did a good job right there doing that.
So it's going to be about 3rd and 16 with 11:10 left in this first half. No score as of yet in this one, and we knew it would be a tight battle. Fisher back to pass. He's going to look over to Morris, who brings it down in a good tackle there by Trent Fitzgerald, but that's going to be a gain of about 6 or 7.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Fisher does right here. One of the quarterback's best friends, and good quarterbacks do, is when their first or second read downfield's not there to swing it out to the back. And when you got a back like Brody Morris, does a good job. You might see them try to draw Harrisburg off sides right here.
Nope, they're going to snap it and pass, and they're going to go through the hands. Maybe some confusion on who that was supposed to go to, but that is number 10, Blayton Ballou, with the interception. And we've got a flag and some extracurriculars after the whistle here.
Yeah, we definitely have some extracurriculars after the play there. Hopefully, that they can get everybody split up and sort these penalties out and move on with the play, and that nobody gets too much called against them where they may be removed from the game.
So there were flags, I believe, on the play, and then obviously the ones that came after the tackle. So we'll see as the referee's crew gets together, and we'll see what they come out with here and hash this out.
Yeah, and I hope that the officiating crew gets together out here and decides that their emotions on Friday night can get the best of you at time, but nothing worth an ejection. Let's hope that they don't throw anybody out of here. But there was definitely some things that went on a little bit afterwards, especially between two guys, and we're not going to single them out for anything negative, but hopefully they'll let cooler heads prevail and move on with the game.
So Bruce Gartman comes out of the referee's huddle, and he's ready to make the indications. Sportsmanlike on Manila, and sportsmanlike on the second Manila player.
Well, the good part of that is it's just unsportsmanlike, and anytime the official does that little hatchet job on his arm, it's a personal foul.
And I think Coach Fisher didn't like what that was, and he just drew another flag from the referee there as his son Patrick was getting back to the sideline. So a third unsportsmanlike conduct called against Manila here. And
I don't like any coach to draw a penalty from the sideline, but I do love seeing a coach stand up for his players. And I think Coach Fisher was probably a little bit upset that a lot of times it takes two to tango, and when the penalties are one-sided, you feel like the other side didn't get anything called against them. So got respect for Coach Fisher. Now it's time to, calm down, regroup, and get a defensive stop right here.
So Blayton Ballou, number 10, the linebacker for Harrisburg, came up with the interception on the nice play defensively, and then with 3 unsportsmanlike penalties against the Lions, they're going to get the ball first and goal from the 10-yard line on their second possession of the ball game.
And with those 3 unsportsmanlike, you get a 25-yard penalty once you get inside the 20 and they get half the distance. So sets Harrisburg up in a nice position to try to get a score here.
Yeah, back to Harkey again on the ground. He gets inside the 5-yard line down to around the 2 or 3 before he's met with some line defenders.
And that's just a good job of getting in behind your blockers. And, Harkey's not a big guy, but a lot of times that can serve you well from the running back position because you can hide behind your blockers a little bit, and he does a good job of that and getting inside the 5.
Brady Kahn with leading the charge there defensively for the Lions. And Harkey steps off the field, and they're going to put Javen Thompson on behind, but before the ball was snapped, they're going to get a penalty, and that was going to be a false start on Harrisburg.
Yeah, and anytime you put a guy that's not used to being quarterback who kind of scans both sides of the field, make sure everybody's set, you run into that, that possibility of, a little premature snap right there, and it happens and it backs them up.
Yeah, 5-yard penalty, so going to be second and goal from about the 7-yard line.
It's second and 8. They can get a first down inside the 1.
They did. I didn't realize that from the start. So Jones is going to hand off to Javen, and there's going to be a flag coming in. 2 flags, one during the play and one late into the play.
He just tossed 50.
As number 4, Aiden Sharp made the stop on defense.
Yeah, again, when it's coming from that backside, a lot of times you think it's a hold, but the gesticulations by Bruce Scarpman in the white hat right there would indicate that something would be done towards.
Well, we've got a Harrisburg Hornet down the field, so we're going to take a quick break and be right back here on NEA Sports.
The City of Manila is a proud sponsor of Manila Public Schools and Manila Athletics. The city wants to wish the entire team best of luck in tonight's game and for the remainder of the season.
We are back here in Manila, and as the break came, we've had some more penalty flags fly. It looks like during that play, they ejected number 53, Caden Gamble, from Manila. And during that timeout is number 55 for Harrisburg, Wyatt Smith, got up, walked off under his own power, which was good to see. But Coach Ben Fisher has now been ejected from this football game with 9:28 to go in the first half.
Well, you hate to see where this game's kind of gotten right here, but, officials, I'll just be quiet, but, Coach Fisher's been ejected right here. Now you're going to get the home side fired up. This could be one of those deals where, kind of like a basketball coach gets a technical for a reason and fire up the team. It could happen.
Well, they have spotted the ball inside the 5. That looks like it gave it first and goal for Harrisburg. Jones now under center, and he's going to hand off to number 1, Javen Thompson, and that's going to be a touchdown for Harrisburg.
Javen Thompson on the carry. We'll take it in for a Hornet.
Well, and we finally get somebody in the end zone, and here's what we're going to get into tonight. I think it's, anytime the white hat gets involved with,
And the late discussion with the flag, or the white hat and side judge brings a late flag on the play. I'm not sure.
Yeah. One thing officials try to do is get their justice in on, try to control the game. But then, there's times where it could spiral in the other direction against them. And that happened right here where there's a personal foul after the touchdown.
So the Javen Thompson touchdown will stand, makes it 6-0 Harrisburg, we believe, so far. And after the play, there's going to be a personal foul against the Hornets. So looks like the coach taking over head coaching duties will assess it on the kickoff probably.
Yeah, I think that will be assessed on the kickoff. And the one thing about, the personal foul is, as opposed to the unsportsmanlike, is that's one of two allowable unsportsmanlike or personal fouls for that player. So if he gets another one, he would be ejected.
So extra point, or looks like a 2-point try here for the Hornets. As Smith, they're back at center, comes back in the game. It's good to see. They're going to hand off to number 5, and that is
Number 3.
Remington Rayford. He takes it in for the 2-point conversion. And with 9:22 to go in the second quarter, the Harrisburg Hornets have struck first, and they lead this one over Manila 8-0. We'll be right back here on NEA Sports. Back here at Manila High School, 9:22 to go in the second quarter. The Harrisburg Hornets have got on the scoreboard first, and they lead this 3A-3 matchup 8-0 over the Manila Lions. Brad Davis from Coach Randy Coleman here, and there's a personal foul after the touchdown, so be assessed here on this kickoff.
Well, Brad, I would
little pooch kick over to the side. It's going to hit the ground. Hudson Harrison's going to get it, kind of sidestep and get some yards after. Nice play there by the senior.
And Brad, I'm a big Captain Obvious right here and say that the intensity level
has stepped up,
has picked up. So, and now Manila starts with good field position at the Manila 37-yard line, and let's see what happens here.
If you're just joining us, we've had a player ejection, a coach ejection, with personal fouls and unsportsmanlike all the way around. And we talked about kind of a budding rivalry here for football, especially. These two have kind of had these kind of top games the last few years where they're really close and physical. Snap going to be handed off to Brody Morse, and he's going to get up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and
number 12, Corbin Barker. Harkey in there on the stop as well.
Let me just say, Brad, you were, kind of sarcastically talking about my affinity for Friday nights early on, and it has just ramped up, and now you understand, hopefully, how this game is so wonderful. Let's see how kids react to a little adversity.
My apologies if I offended you in any way. Hand off to Morse there. He's going to be caught in the backfield, and there's going to be a flag on there, maybe a face mask. Number 10, Blayton Ballou, gets into the backfield very quickly, but did he get a piece of the face mask is the question there on the tackle. Ballou just with that interception that led to the Hornet touchdown.
Brad, let me ask you a question. As a basketball coach, do you ever get a technical foul just in order to get momentum back on your side?
Maybe in junior high, I was an assistant for most of my career, so they just told me to sit down and shut up all the time. They weren't real concerned with me.
Sometimes the technical foul can work in your favor, and not only for your kids' inspiration, but for the officials in getting calls.
So that was a personal foul face mask call. 15-yard penalty, gets the ball to the 30 and a brand new set of downs for the Manila Lions as there's a conversation with the officials, probably maybe on the spot. I'm not sure what they'd be talking about here.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see. I think at some point Manila is going to take a shot downfield, and good times to take a shot downfield are when you get a big play offensively and kind of the defense is reeling. Another time is when the defense has a penalty against them and they're reeling. Anytime, especially with high school kids, when they get into a situation where they're thinking about what happened the last play is when you want to attack on this play. And so it'll be interesting to see if, they take a shot right here in the next couple plays.
So they're moving the chains. I don't know if they're moving the spot. So I guess it's not a automatic first down on that play. Personal foul face mask.
Anytime it's a personal foul, it's supposed to be an automatic first down.
The personal foul. The personal foul signal was made, but it's going to be about 2nd and 3 now from the 30 for Manila.
You think so?
Morris in the backfield with Fisher. They're going to hand it off. He's going to try to move right there and. Number 16, Adam Morgan with the tackle, but there's a penalty flag as soon as he tackles him. So another personal foul face mask for Harrisburg.
And now we might get in a penalty battle here.
Well, there has been several, a lot of laundry on the field in this first half, false starts and offsides, and now a lot of personal fouls. I'm not keeping a tally on that, but it's been a bunch. So this one will be marked off, spotted down around the 20.
Yep, and now Manila's really in a good position to try to even up this contest and get the game back to where it's a game where it's back up in the air. Hopefully they'll be aggressive right here.
Hand off to Morris. He's going to go to the left side. He's met by number 12, which was Corbin Barker, and brought down maybe a gain of 2, so it'll be about 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9 here for the Lions.
And I'm going to make a comment here after this play, and we'll see if you guys can look at this and see what you think about it.
2 split out to the left and right of Fisher with Brody Morris to his right. They're going to snap it. He's going to look to pass. Tries to go over the middle to Hudson Harris. It's through his hands and intercepted by number 5, Remington Rapert, through his hands and into the Rapert hands. So the 3rd turnover of the night for the Lions, and for the Hornet defense will get the ball back to Harrisburg.
Yeah, and I think Hudson Harrison, when he watches this game back, he's gonna be upset on that one because he's right there, good ball, right at his face mask. It's just a situation where you catch that and maybe you get in the end zone, but unfortunately it goes through his hands and right to the Harrisburg defender.
Good play by Rapert, right place, right time. They're going to hand off to Harkey over the left side. And there's a late flag on that play, number 15, Dawson Howard with the tackle.
And I would think from where that came from, we may get another face mask call right here.
They pointed towards Manila, personal foul, face mask against the Lions.
this game might be decided by the first team that kind of regains their composure. Right now there's officials are involved, emotions are involved, and the team that can kind of regroup and regain composure might be the one that be able to take this game and get a victory.
1st and 10 now for Harrisburg. At about the 20, they're going to hand off and reverse it to Rapert, and number 0, Dakota Miles, meets him in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, Dakota Miles just a great job of, a little misdirection in the backfield by Harrisburg, but Dakota Miles doesn't fall for the misdirection. He stays at home, makes a great play in the backfield for a loss of yardage there on Harrisburg.
Yeah, handoff went to Javen Thompson, who reversed it to Rapert, and Miles there to bust it up. And now Harkey will join Jones in the backfield, and they're going to hand off to Harkey over the left side, and a Manila defender gets in the backfield to bust that.
And right now, the Manila defense playing some inspired football, and it's kind of good to see when there's been some penalties go against them. They're down a score. Head coach has been tossed, but they're playing some really good football right now. Put Harrisburg in a 3rd and long right here. Let's see if they can get a stop and get the ball back.
Loss of about 5, 3rd and 16. They're going to throw it, but the play's whistled dead as the snap. The flag on the play. So false start against Harrisburg is going to be back it up another 5 yards. Makes it 3rd and 21 now on this play.
Yeah, and
5-yard penalty.
That Harrisburg had a good little play set up with the little wheel route and the guy open, but now you give Manila a chance to regroup and see if they can get a stop right here and get the ball back.
Play coming in from the sideline. Looks like it's going to be a timeout. Harrisburg's going to call the first timeout of the game on either side. We're going to take it with them. We'll be back here. Harrisburg leads Manila 8-0.
Ask someone about their favorite show, there's a good chance it's on CBS or Fox, 2 of the most popular networks in the country. When you ask someone where they go for local news and information, they usually say Northeast Arkansas News. When you ask someone how they grew their business, they'll probably tell you they advertise with KJNB. When you add it all up, top-rated networks, local focus, and dynamic advertising, you get more than just a TV station. You'll get a hometown friend. KJNB. This is who we are. This is home.
Our journey began way back in 1891 with a group of folks who believed that this community deserved a local bank. Well, it's been over 130 years, and we're still the only true community bank in Northeast Arkansas. Our core beliefs in supporting the places that we call home hasn't changed, and it never will. We care about you. We care about our communities, because every journey matters.
We're back here at Manila High School, second quarter, 5:54 to go in the half. Harrisburg leading 8-0 with a 3rd and 21 situation as they are back to pass. They're going to hit Rapert out here in the flat, open, and that's number 5, Brody Morris, coming over to make the tackle. Gets close to the original line of scrimmage, and there's going to be a flag come in late in this one.
Yeah, and just a good job of rallying to make the tackle right there by Manila, but it'll be interesting to see what this flag is.
So we're meeting over here, another penalty marker down.
Brad, right now we may have more official meetings than we do points on the scoreboard.
I believe we do for sure, and I know we have more flags. Still trying to figure it out. Rapert making the catch, getting around the original line of scrimmage, which would bring up 4th and 10, but we'll see how this penalty, unsportsmanlike against the Lions.
And an ejection.
And it looks like they've ejected number 5, Brody Morris, from the game. So that is the second Manila Lion to be ejected from the game, along with Coach Patrick Fisher. Or I'm sorry, Patrick Fisher's the
Ben Fisher.
Yeah, Patrick's still in the game.
You know, I'm just an old football coach, Brad, but anytime officials try to, take control of, kids and the emotions that they have in a football game, I get a little frustrated by it.
So after all that, they're going to spot the ball at the 42, so it'll be a 1st and 10 for Harrisburg. Jones at quarterback, flanked by Harkey and Fitzgerald. Receivers split out wide each side. It'll be Raypert and Thompson. They're going to fake it to Harkey, give it to Raypert. He's going to be tackled by Dakota Miles, and there's going to be a flag in the backfield, maybe roughing the passer.
There was a flag on the play.
I followed the ball. I didn't see what happened.
Yeah, I did as well. And the only thing I think of, because it looks like an RPO, or you're kind of you're riding that running back a little bit longer than you normally would for a pass play, but. And the contact was bang bang. The only thing I could think of is because he
and a roughing the passer. So they got a holding against Harrisburg, a roughing the passer, personal foul against Manila. They're going to offset, and we'll just act like that never happened and play again.
I'm just going to be quiet.
1st and 10, 5:30 to go in the opening half. 8-0 Harrisburg with this lead. Raypert and Thompson flanked out wide to the left.
One thing just football-wise, let's get away from the officials for a minute. With 5:30 to go in the first half and Harrisburg deferring the coin toss, this possession is huge, because you don't want Harrisburg, if you're a Manila Lion, to eat up the entire rest of the quarter to get to the half where they get the ball, start second half as well.
Trenton Fitzgerald takes the handoff there from the fullback position. He gains about 1 yard, and it's going to be 2nd and 9 here for Harrisburg. They went under the center there with a fullback and Harkey in the backfield. Now they've got 2 receivers wide left, and Fitzgerald at fullback, Harkey in the backfield, Jones under center again. He's going to snap. He's going to go fake to Harkey. He's going to throw incomplete.
Oh, he just hit him in the helmet.
And that was number 27, Jacob Hall, that rushed the quarterback, and there's going to be a penalty marker down after the play.
Well, this game is in a downward spiral right now. And you know what? I know both staffs, have multiple coaches on it. But anytime you take the head coach out of the football game, there's a little bit of a
personal foul against the Hornets.
So they're going to go personal foul against Harrisburg there. That'll back them up 15 yards after the play.
15-yard penalty.
And here's where I get a little ticky with the officials. Anytime there's a head slap, you have to say that's a punch. Where you've had, 2 Manila guys ejected. If there's a slap on the head by a Harrisburg player, that's got to be an ejection if you're sticking by the rules.
Ball's at the 29. It'll be about 2nd and 21 here. Jones will take the snap, look to pass. He's got 3 on the right side. And Javen Thompson in and out of his hands, so it falls incomplete to bring up 3rd and 21 for the Harrisburg with 4:40 to go in this opening half.
And that that incompletion's big for Manila because it saves time on the clock, and 3rd and 21 right here. You want to play some coverage and keep the ball in front of you, make a tackle, force a punt, get the ball back, and see what you can do at the end of the first half to get some points on the board because Harrisburg gets it to start the second half.
3 receivers out wide to the left, 1 down here to the right. Jones takes it. He's going to have a screen, and that is knocked down. Looked like number 64 there. Chris Barber.
And just a great job by Barber right there because, Harrisburg really has a good play set up with that middle screen, but the defensive lineman gets his hands up, knocks it down, keeps them from getting a big gain there on third down and forces a punt.
So 4th and 21, looks like they are going to punt. I think that's Fitzgerald back punting for Harrisburg. Hudson Harrison back here for Manila to receive it. And that's going to be a penalty hitting the kicker. And it's down by Harkey at the 46, but there's going to be a penalty marker down. As
down by the Hornets, there's a flag on the play.
Number 27, Jacob Hall, was back there trying to get pressure and get a piece of the ball, but ran into the kicker there.
Yeah, and he gets back there in good time to try to make a play on the punt, but just takes a bad angle, and instead of going for the foot of the kicker, he goes for the kicker.
Yeah, it's going to be a roughing the kicker personal foul, so that's going to be 15 yards and a first down. So Harrisburg will keep the ball. And you mentioned earlier, 4:29 here. If Harrisburg's able to go down and score, then they get the ball to start the second half, then you can create a lot of space here in what's been a tightly contested ball game so far.
Yeah, without a doubt, you definitely have to consider that as, part of the plan right here, just because, possessions in a low-scoring type ball game become huge. The more you can possess the football, you give yourself an opportunity if you're Manila to close the gap and try to get a tie ball game. If you're Harrisburg, you extend it to a more controllable football game.
Thompson and Harkey in the backfield with Jones. They're going to hand off to Harkey over the left side. We got a flag coming in from the right side, and a flag after the play as well.
We have multiple flags again.
So we're going to have a flag during the play coming in from the side judge on the home side, and then a flag on the other side after the play as the tackle happens. So we'll see what they come out with here.
And I'm really at a loss. I think, you're in a situation here where if you're Manila, you got to regain composure. Obviously, this officiating crew is calling it very tightly tonight. You got to put yourself in a position to regain the ball. And right now, the penalties are killing them where they can't get the ball back.
Holding against Harrisburg. And that's all they're going to come out with. So maybe both flags saw the same thing from opposite sides of the field, but a holding call is what they come out with against Harrisburg, and that'll back them up maybe 10 yards from the original line. So first and 20 now for Harrisburg. 4:20 to go in this second quarter that seems to have lasted a long time.
The first quarter went by real fast, and this second quarter has lasted a long time.
After the penalty, it'll bring up 1st and 20.
So 1st and 20, Hornets. Thompson and Harkey. Flank Jones at either side. Receiver out right and left on each side. They're going to hand off to Javen Thompson. He cuts across, fights through some tackles. Dakota Miles finally drags him down around the 40-yard line, just over that. Looks like they're going to spot it at the 40. Just going to bring up about second and let's call it 12-ish.
Well, he gets most of the penalty yardage back there, and, still puts them in second and long. Which if you're Manila, you want to keep them in a long yardage situation to force a punt. The closer they creep to midfield, the more likely they are to go for it on 4th down.
Rayford and Barkert split out left. Thompson down here on the right. They're going to go to Thompson, but it's knocked down by number 27, Jacob Hall. He jumped the pass there, got a hand on it to knock it down to make it 3rd and 12.
And just a great play by Hall right there, getting his hands up in the passing lane, knocking down what looked to be a successful play on the slant to Thompson. but he gets his hand up and knocks it down and forces a 3rd and long here for the Harrisburg Hornets.
Clock stopped at 3:37. 8-0. Harrisburg leads this one. And they're going to split Rayford out wide to the left. Thompson's down here on the right in tight. Harkey fake handoff to him, and they're going to look to pass to Rayford down the field. Makes a really nice catch there. And that's going to be a first down, Harrisburg. Nice throw, nice catch by Rayford.
Yeah, just nice boot action to the left. Great route by the receiver on the out. And nice throw and catch. And, well defended too, but, just a nice throw and catch by Harrisburg.
Ball spotted at the 44, first down and 10, clock ticking under 3:20. But, Rayford and Thompson both for Harrisburg here, good size at the receiver position. They're going to hand off. Looks like they got crossed up. Thompson got it, and number 0, Dakota Miles, in on the tackle. But there was a flag on.
Well, they're going to call them for 12 men on the field because the Manila line guy that got subbed for was about 1.5 yards from the sideline, and
you got to sprint off. 3:03. On the clock, so it's going to be 5-yard penalty. So it'll be a 1st and 5 at the 39. Thompson and Harkey in the backfield with Jones.
And I think Harrisburg's very comfortable here, just trying to run clock and get to the half.
They're going to go the RPI to Rayford, and it was knocked down, incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 5, stopping the clock at 2:48.
Yeah, just, that's one of those great plays for a quarterback because, most quarterbacks at the high school level anyway are baseball players, and they do a really good job of throwing that ball to the left like you're turning 2, and he makes a nice throw, just unable to come up with it. Brings up a 2nd and 5.
Top formation, 3 on the side. Go to Harkey to that side, kind of a heavy package, and he's going to squirt through the middle and gain enough for the first down. Good, strong run there by Harkey.
Yeah, and, they're trying to outside run right there with the bunch formation to the left, but, good penetration by the Manila defense forces Harkey to cut back, and when in doing so, he makes a great move, gets to the second level, gets up the field with a nice gain for Harrisburg.
Spots it about the 28-yard line. Harkey's in the backfield with Jones as they come heavy package to the right, and they're going to toss it to Harkey on this side as Miles gets in the backfield and grabs a piece of him, and a couple lines clean it up, but there is a late flag on the tackle.
Be interested to see what, I would guess it would be some sort of face mask, but
personal foul, face mask on the tackle.
Yeah, face mask against the lines.
I'd love to see some stats on how many flags have been thrown, but
I've not been tallying it, but it's been
unfortunately
a lot of yellow.
I've run out of fingers and toes a long time ago.
So they'll mark that off, which should be a first down for Harrisburg at about the 13-yard line, it looks like, with 2:14 to go. Clock's running on the whistle as it now ticks down in this never-ending second quarter. Harkey goes over the left side, a lot of room over there, and he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown and then a flag on the play as well.
Yeah, he does a great job of initially he makes a little stutter step like is he going to, bang it back inside and try to get up the field or stay outside, and he keeps it outside, runs to the pylon, gets in the end zone. Do
Touchdown
not know what
good.
The flag is here.
So the official checking with Harrisburg. Looks like a penalty against Manila. He'll check with the coach on where they want to enforce it. And so touchdown will stand, and it is a personal foul face mask.
Personal foul face mask against the Hornets.
Well, that doesn't make sense because if it was
I think he pointed on the wrong side.
Yeah, because if it's against the Hornets,
But Javen Thompson will be in this wildcat look, and he's going to try to throw a little quick pass in the middle to, I don't know who he was going to, because there was about 8 people in the pass. He probably had space to get in there himself, but
maybe so.
Elected to throw it. So the 2-point conversion, no good. But on the Harkey touchdown, with 1:55 to go in the second quarter, Harrisburg takes a 14-0 lead.
The City of Manila is a proud sponsor of Manila Public Schools and Manila Athletics. The city wants to wish the entire team best of luck in tonight's game and for the remainder of the season.
Remington Rayford ready to kick off from the Manila 45 after the face mask penalty. Hudson Harrison fields it, backs up in the end zone, but since he caught it in play, he's got to bring it out. He's got room over the right side, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds around the 7-8 yard line. So if he lets it go, maybe it's a touchback, but he brings it out and gets good yardage.
Yeah, if he lets it go, it's definitely a touchback. But and he caught it in the field of play and backed into the end zone. So the play continues and does a good job of bringing it out and getting 28 yards.
So first down and 10 at about the 28-yard line. I don't know if there was a flag. There's another official conversation. So they will spot it about the 27, looks like, the 27. First and 10, 1:45 to go in the half. The line's probably going to try to work quickly here to get on the scoreboard before this halftime.
Yeah, I would think they're going to have to try to put the ball in the air here early and try to get some momentum with Brody Morris out of the game, especially, looking to put the ball in the air is going to be the way to go.
So Hudson Harrison moves to the backfield, and he gets the handoff up the middle, and he's going to get a couple. He's met by Peyton Self, number 53, and he had some help, but I couldn't get a number there.
What do I know? I mean, you're just running up the middle. I think, one thing you got to be thinking as you head into halftime. One, if you're Manila, let's settle down and kind of regain our composure and come out and compete in the second half. Two, if you can get a first down right here where you can run up and get something going quick, you can.
They're going to give it to Harrison in the backfield over the right side. Flag comes in on that side. He gets across the first down marker, but we'll see what the penalty is. Good run there by Harrison, kind of juking and jiving over the right.
Yeah, nice little bounce outside to get to the sideline and up the field, and if you're, if the penalty doesn't go against them, you do a good job, you get out of bounds.
A block in the back against Harrisburg, maybe? I'm not sure.
Back against the Hornets.
Or illegal hands, maybe to the face. It looked like he's telling him a hand to the face. Maybe it was illegal hands to the face on the signal.
Yeah, I think he got his signals mixed up a little bit. With that one, you just want to go one hand, not two. But, that's great for Manila because, one, they get the yardage gained on the play and the stoppage of the clock, and then you get the penalty yardage tacked on the end of it.
So the ball spot the 48, first and 10, 56 seconds left in this opening half with Harrisburg leading 14-0. Fisher with Harrison to his left, and we're going to call – there's a flag, but I believe the timeout was called before. So, yeah, it's going to be timeout Harrisburg, their second of the half. So we'll take it with them here on NEA Sports. Harrisburg is leading Manila 14-0. We are back here at Manila High School hosting the Harrisburg Hornets. Harrisburg leading 14-0. We got 56 seconds left in the opening half. First and 10, Manila at the 40 or their own 48. Fisher with Hudson Harrison in the backfield. He's going to bobble it on the handoff, but falls right back into his hands. And
Hudson Harrison on the carry.
Looks like number 16, Adam Morgan. Number 9, Gus Easter in there on the stop for Harrisburg. Gain about 4, so it'll be 2nd and 6 here for Manila.
Yeah, and if Manila can get a first down right here, and you know, they still got 3 timeouts to work with.
Back to pass. Fisher's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to go to the right side. Self
Number 6, Patrick
makes the tackle. I'm sorry, Adam Morgan makes the tackle. Manila calls a quick timeout with 19 seconds left. It's going to be 3rd and about
gain of 4 on the play. Bring it 2. There's a timeout on the field.
We're going to take a quick timeout with them as we are headed to halftime here. 14-0 Harrisburg leads.
The Harrisburg School District serves the community of Poinsett County to offer the highest quality education possible. From 3 little log huts in Poinsett County in 1868, the school system has undergone many changes. The district goals are to increase student achievement and to ensure the schools are trusted as a safe place for students, staff, and the community. The Harrisburg School District proudly supports the Harrisburg Hornets in all of their athletic endeavors.
19 seconds left in this first half. There's a handoff to Hudson Harrison. He's going over the left side. He's tripped up by number 0, Alberto Guzman, and Manela's going to take a quick timeout there as they get the first down there with 14 seconds left to go in this first half.
Yeah, just a great job of him, you know, looking inside and then bouncing back outside and getting first down yardage, putting them in a position with 14 seconds left to take a shot to the end zone.
Yeah, we're going to come back with that here in just a second. Quick break here on NEA Sports.
The Harrisburg Athletic Booster Club is a proud supporter of today's game and all of the student athletes in the Harrisburg School District. Go Hornets!
Back here at Manila High School on homecoming night, they're hosting the Harrisburg Hornets. Harrisburg leading 14-0 with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Mill's got a 1st and 10 here at about the Harrisburg 35-yard line. Snap to Fisher. He's looking to pass. He's looking to go to the left side to Miles. It's caught and out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Nice pass and catch there for the Lions.
Great job of throwing, catching the football right there. Nice throw by Patrick Fisher, and an even better catch by Dakota Miles right there, and gets inside the 10. Now it gives them, with 8 seconds left, possibly 2 shots at the end zone right here.
So Harrisburg's going to take a timeout to talk about it. 1st and goal for the 6 for Manila. We're going to take it with them as we'll be right back here on NEA Sports.
No matter what the job calls for, contractors can count on Barton's. With your own dedicated sales representative, you'll get personalized support and accurate material takeoffs to keep your project on budget. Need flexible financing? We offer in-house accounts and financing options. Plus, take advantage of our product holding, on-site delivery, and professional installation of flooring, cabinets, and vanities. Supplying local contractors for 140 years. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
Since 1945, we've been more than just a bank. We've been deeply rooted in communities across Arkansas, growing alongside the families and businesses we serve. We started the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Stuttgart, Arkansas 80 years ago to ensure working folks could borrow.
Back here at Manila, 8 seconds left before half. The Lions got a 1st and goal at about the 6-yard line. Snap to Fisher, back to pass. He's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to get rid of it up the middle of the field. He's going to be stopped at the 1 yard line. Still pushing in. No signal yet from either official. Clock is run down to 0, so this is going to be the end of it.
You know, I'm just going to sit here and say we're having another official meeting.
Touchdown line. After debating about whether he crossed or not, or where, I don't know, maybe they were debating if forward progress was called, but
you know, here's the crazy part. If the you know, there was obviously, you know, late movement at the end of the play where the guys came in and gave him a push. But if it's the whistle was blown, it should have stopped where.
That was number 7, Weston Ezel on the catch and the battle. So they're going to have a 2-point conversion here to cut into this Harrisburg lead. No time on the clock, so we're going to halftime no matter what here. Fisher and Harrison in the backfield. Miles split right, 2 receivers split left. They're going to hand off to Harrison. He's going to get in there for the 2-point conversion. Hudson Harrison on the 2-point conversion. So we're going to halftime, finally, from Manila. 14-8, Harrisburg leads, and we're going to have, I think, a dandy of the second half here. So we're going to go to halftime. We'll be back here for the second half of this homecoming game here on NEA Sports. Here at halftime, you're going to see some interviews with quarterback Patrick Fisher, Hudson Harrison, and Clayton Hawkins of Manila during this halftime show here on NEA Sports.
We're live for our halftime show with 3 of the Manila Lions in this game between the Lions and the Hornets. 3A-3 conference action. We have for our halftime show Clayton Hawkins, Hudson Harrison, and Patrick Fisher. Guys, I want to talk to each one of you kind of individually, you know, what your role on this team is, and we'll talk more about some of the team goals and the how important this game is specifically. But we'll start with Hudson. Talk to me a little bit about you play receiver and cornerback, but specifically your role on this team.
Yes, sir. So as a senior on this team, my goal is to elevate everyone's level of play. So I got to get all of our youngsters on the same winning level as everybody else, and we got to grind out a win this week. So that's what I got to do.
Okay. And then when I talked to Coach, you know, he made reference that you guys are a run team first. But one thing that, you know, when in off season, preseason, all that, you're a playmaker and you're a guy that he wants to get the ball into your hands at the receiver position. So, you know, we want to throw the ball a little bit, but he's also had you move to into the backfield to kind of maybe get some carries as well. So talk to me a little bit about playing receiver, but also moving over and maybe getting some carries at running back.
Yes, sir. We run the traditional spread, and we want to establish the run game first. And establishing the run moves bodies into the box, which opens up the passing game. And so that's what we want to do. And so moving me into the backfield gets me a little more opportunities if we're having trouble with the run. But mostly we just want to establish the run and open up them gaps for receivers.
Okay. At any point, if y'all are in the spread, does he ever send you in motion out of a receiver position to take a handoff or anything like that? Or?
Yes, sir. We run jet sweeps to both sides. Okay. We run fake jet sweeps to both sides. We run orbits to both sides. We have all different kind of motions to move backers in and out of the box and create gaps for our running backs.
Okay. All right. So, Patrick, I'm going to come to you because you're his quarterback. You're the guy throwing him the football. Yes, but you're a run-heavy team. Talk to me a little bit about what it looks like for you on a Friday night at the quarterback position here at Manila.
Yeah, we're like you said, like Hudson said, we're going to try to establish the run as much as we can. But I feel like our coach has enough trust to where if we need to throw the ball, we can. And even if we can't get the run set up, and for me, it's just reading everything, doing what I'm needing to do, and like for example, last week against Hoxie, we ran the ball a lot, and so it's up to me to control the offense and just command everybody and get them in their right spots and let them go make plays.
I interviewed him by Zoom earlier today, and he talked about he talked about it. You know, if you looked at your percentage rate on passing, he said, now it looks, and this was his words, and he can say this to your son, he can say whatever he wants to. He said it looks awful, but if you go back and watch the film, he's making good decisions, he's doing some good things. So how do you take that and take that into this week and put up the numbers that you need to win?
Yeah, I think, like you said, I'm making the right read and everything. It's just up to me to get the ball where it needs to be, and I have struggled with that a little bit this year, but if I keep making the correct read, it's going to all fall in place and everything's going to start clicking eventually. Okay. So I think we'll be good. Okay.
Clayton, going to come to you. Talk to me a little bit about you play. Since we're talking about offense right now, playing a left tackle, what that looks like, and just your role on this team.
I would say being a senior, it's really just about showing everybody, how hard. Like, we'll have a lot of plays where you got to get your butt in gear and you got to get out. If we're sealing the edge or something, you really just got to get moving. You got to make sure the whole team is doing what they're supposed to do. If you don't have good movement up front, the running back's going to have space. So you have to get down, and especially me being a little bit undersized for linemen, you just have to work. You have to work.
Okay. You don't look undersized, I'll say that. So, I mean, how tall are you?
I'm about 6 foot.
Okay.
I don't feel undersized.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. He mentioned that you guys have dealt with some injuries, early, and now we're mid-season, and he specifically talked about those injuries on the line. So that probably has placed a little bit more responsibility on you to be a leader and to get that help. He talked about several injuries. So talk to me a little bit about that and just going through those struggles of having guys out right now.
Yeah. Well, like I say, we don't have a big team, we don't really have many fill-ins, especially for that line. I'll just give you a couple examples. I mean, I think it was 2 games ago, strained my hamstring a little bit, but you just have to rest through it. I mean, since we don't have other guys, we kind of had to, deal with it for that game, and then the next game, I was able to come back. We're kind of just, it just is what it is with only about 7 linemen. We're working with what we have. A lot of them are newer guys. We have freshmen. We have freshman linemen. He's doing the best he can. And I'd say as the season goes on, we're definitely working into our positions and our responsibilities a little bit more. Just doing what we're supposed to do.
So that's going to lead me into my next question. This is a 3A school. When you start looking 4A down, I've done 2 5A games in a row. So there are very, very few people that play both sides of the ball. But you get 4A down, especially 3A down, it's almost always that way. So 2 of the 3 of you guys do that. Hudson, I'll let you talk about that first, and Clayton, then we'll come back to you and kind of talk about how you maintain that, especially given, if you are to get semi-tweak an injury or something like that. What does that look like?
Yes, sir. So we got to put the best player in the best position to give our team the best chance of winning. So if that means I got to play special teams, offense, defense, every play of the game, you're going to have to do it. You have to win games at the 3A level. You don't have a 75-man roster. This isn't NFL. So the best players got to play both ways, which means you got to come up, show them summer practice, and you got to get in shape. You got to lift, you got to get in shape, because you got to play both ways. You got to do whatever you can to win.
Yeah, I would definitely just piggyback off what he said. It is exhausting playing both ways. You get a long drive, you're running, 5 yards, 6 yards, 3 yards, you get into long drives, and it can get pretty tiring. But that's what practice is for. That's why we get in shape. That's why we worked all summer, is to be able to handle that. I would say with the smaller roster, we all we all tie up for the games. You know, you get your ankles wrapped, you do what you got to do to play. Make sure you're not coming out until the play's over.
Okay. So, Patrick, we're going to come to you now. You're not in that situation. Ideally, if I'm a coach, though, the last person I want playing both sides of the ball is my quarterback.
Yeah.
I honestly, you look at the NFL, they go over there in college, they've got an iPad, they're probably dissecting the last series and the last plays. What does that look like for you on the sidelines as you prepare for the next offensive series?
Yeah, any chance I get, I'm going to talk to Coach Fisher about it. He's willing to talk about me. He's willing to not get too mad if we stall or anything. And he just wants to see what I saw and have me explain that to him, and then we'll talk about what we'll come back to if we see something's there. We have another guy. He's our stat keeper. His name's Chris Overman. He helps a lot too with just kind of helping me see what maybe I missed, because I miss stuff all the time. So helping me see what I missed and just helping me also on a mechanical level. If I get happy feedback there, what I can do to prevent that. So
well, just for the record, you can go and rewind our broadcast and watch the last series if you need to do that in between. So if that helps in any way. But last thing I want to folks or just kind of make mention of, there's the obvious. This conference very tough. Preseason, you had 3 teams ranked in the top 10 depending on rankings, and that was not counting Walnut Ridge, who may be better than some of those teams that were ranked. So you guys are in a battle for one of those other playoff spots. This is a big game, huge game. Any one of y'all can talk about that for just a second.
So the 3A-3 is the hardest conference in all of Arkansas. If you stack our conference with the top 10 compared to every level of football in every conference, the 3A-3 comes out on top every time. With Walnut Ridge, Osceola, Newport, Rivercrest, there's 4 top 10 teams right there. And so this conference is a battle. I mean, the Delta is the best spot for athletes. And so all the athletes are here. So that means we got to show up every week, and we got to play as a team, and we got to play winning football to make the playoffs. And that's what we got to do.
I know this start to the season is not what you want. Now, 3 of those games are irrelevant because they're non-conference. And as I talked to Coach today, we could go schedule some teams that, have a better shot at beating, but, he didn't say bad teams, I'm going to say that. And, your record might look better, but it's not going to make you better. So you kind of ignore that and just focus on that 0-2 in the conference and trying to reel off some wins here to close out the season. From a mentality standpoint, how do you even block out last week on a really tough loss in a very close game to Hoxie? How do you guys move forward and try to get that one of those playoff spots? Anybody can take it.
So we got to take last week and we got to wear it on the shoulder, and we got to motivate ourselves to get this practice, get focused up, lock in, and have a really good week this week, because we got to come out and we got to get a win. There's no exception. Got to have a win this week, and we got to take a win from somebody else. We got to make the playoffs, and it starts with this week. There's nothing else we can do except win this week. So last 2 weeks don't matter. The next 4 weeks don't matter. Everything matters about this week. So that's our mentality this year.
Yeah, I'll say, a lot of what we're doing, and we did better about refining our defense, making some last-minute changes to the defense. But a lot of that is just silly errors. Perfect example, one of the last plays, hop off sides, false start on offense. That's on me, I can't go back and change that. All I can do is get my mind in gear and just make the changes, make sure it's not going to happen next week, come out ready, knock your head off, Just got to do what we got to do.
Now, I know 2 of you are seniors. Patrick?
I'm a junior. Okay,
so I'm going to save this question for you next year, and I'm going to ask these 2. What do you want Manila fans, and I know you're a multi-ton sport. I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you are or not.
I do track.
Okay, yeah. So that's a sport. So, but my question is, what do you want Manila fans to remember you guys for?
I just want Manila fans to remember me as someone who gave it all. Showed up to every practice, showed up to every game, didn't complain, didn't quit, and just fought to the end. That's what I want Manila fans to remember of.
I mean, I really can't word it any better. You know, I've sent from, heck, 6th grade. I mean, been here all the way back from Coach Hill, every practice, you know. I don't want to, like, brag on myself, but, you know, I say I'm one of the guys who's here. I mean, I've been playing through injury all year. It just is what it is. I care about this team. I will be remembered as someone who gave it all. Yeah. Okay. I mean, he really couldn't have said it any better.
Okay. All right, guys. Good luck, and wish you guys success moving forward this season.
Thank you.
At Glen Zane, we know extra time is hard to come by. Your hands are full, your days are packed, and time doesn't slow down. We work hard when you have a service issue. With full service centers at each of our 4 locations, we will always do our best to make it convenient for you and your busy lifestyle. Thank you for trusting our family with your family for over 70 years.
A Ritter Go-Getter gets everything done, and Ritter Gig Internet can handle a ton. You'll create art for the whole world to see, find new ways to support all your teams, and arrange new arrangements for arranging your screens. You'll game, you'll stream, you'll bike till you can't. Create filtered water for you and your plants, or watch video instructions for hemming your pants. With Ritter Internet, look at all you'll accomplish. Connect all your devices and, schmabomplish? With Wi-Fi this fast, there can be none better. So get in touch and be a Ritter Go-Getter.
For 140 years, homeowners and DIYers have trusted Barton's for their home improvement needs. From small projects to remodels to building a home, our experts are here with the tools, knowledge, and advice to make your project a success. With 10 100% employee-owned locations across Northeast Arkansas and Southeast Missouri, delivery, installation, and free design services, Barton's is your trusted partner for every project. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
At Glen Zane, we've spent over 70 years trying to do things the right way, with honesty, heart, and hometown pride. With 4 locations across Paragould, Rector, and Kennett, we offer a wide selection of GMC, Chevy, Buick, and Ford vehicles, and service centers to keep them running strong. We're a family-owned business, and we treat every customer like one of our own, because after 70 years, that's what matters most.
Hey, Northeast Arkansas, Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually we are. We're at the top of our game, bringing NEA incredible selection and exceptional service. To back that, Central was awarded yet again General Motors Mark of Excellence. From Chevy to Toyota, Nissan to Ford, we have the perfect ride waiting for you and the best service to get it to you. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today or shop us online.
No matter what the job calls for, contractors can count on Barton's. With your own dedicated sales representative, you'll get personalized support and accurate material takeoffs to keep your project on budget. Need flexible financing? We offer in-house accounts and financing options. Plus, take advantage of our product holding, on-site delivery, and professional installation of flooring, cabinets, and vanities. Supplying local contractors for 140 years. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
Since 1945, we've been more than just a bank. We've been deeply rooted in communities across Arkansas, growing alongside the families and businesses we serve. We started the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Stuttgart, Arkansas 80 years ago to ensure working folks could borrow money to run their farms, fund their businesses, and build their families' futures. Today, Farmers and Merchants Bank is proud to continue supporting our communities, including our students and athletes. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The City of Manila is a proud sponsor of Manila Public Schools and Manila Athletics. The city wants to wish the entire team best of luck in tonight's game and for the remainder of the season.
ask someone about their favorite show, there's a good chance it's on CBS or Fox, two of the most popular networks in the country. When you ask someone where they go for local news and information, they usually say Northeast Arkansas News. When you ask someone how they grew their business, they'll probably tell you they advertise with KJNB. When you add it all up, top-rated networks, local focus, and dynamic advertising, you get more than just a TV station. You'll get a hometown friend. KJNB. This is who we are. This is home.
Our journey began way back in 1891 with a group of folks who believed that this community deserved a local bank. Well, it's been over 130 years, and we're still the only true community bank in Northeast Arkansas. Our core beliefs in supporting the places that we call home hasn't changed, and it never will. We care about you. We care about our communities, because every journey matters.
Prestige Plumbing offers a wide range of residential and commercial services to meet every customer's needs. Whether it be new construction or a remodel, Prestige Plumbing is fast and efficient with the best quality service for their customers. From water leaks to slab leaks to new sewer lines or handicap showers, Prestige Plumbing should be your first call for all your plumbing needs.
Be sure to watch the NEA Sports Network as we bring you live coverage this football season. From week 0 to the playoffs, we bring you rivalries and great matchups to go along with championship coverage. Be sure to watch each game at the NEA Sports Facebook page or the NEA Sports YouTube page. NEA Sports, putting Northeast Arkansas student athletes first.
Milligan Heating and AC works to serve the Northeast Arkansas community in meeting all of your HVAC needs. Give Justin Milligan a call at 870-243-2820.
We're back here at Manila as the second half kickoff is a onside try, a little pooch, and it kind of falls through, still scramble for it. 3 Hornets on the ground looking to recover it, and I believe the Harrisburg has it. And
well,
it looked like Fitzgerald recovered it there, but that was danger zone
for grabs. Yeah,
danger zone for the Hornets there as they start the second half of the ball leading 14-8 in this 3A-3 clash. They'll get the ball on the 35-yard line, and Jones will come back in at quarterback. Briar Jones with Harkey coming over the left side and slips a tackle, and then everybody is stacked up, so start where they left off with Harkey there over the left side.
And let's, I think both sides of football, I mean, we're talking, what Manila can control, what Harrisburg can control. I think it'll settle down a lot more in the second half. Now let's hope the officials do their part and keep their hankies in their pockets a little bit more this half and let the guys decide the outcome of the game.
Gain of about 4. Back to Harkey. He's going to cut it back to the right side and get a couple more to get about half of the yardage needed for the first down.
And this is big for Manila right here. If they can get, Harrisburg off the field and regain possession, it kind of levels things out right now. Thinking kind of like a tennis match, where you've got, advantage. And Harrisburg, with the 1-score lead with the ball in their possession, got a little bit of advantage going right here. Manila needs a big stop.
And a good hard count there by Jones pulls the Lion defenders across, and they'll get a offsides. And the first penalty of the second half will be an offsides Manila, and it'll be a first down for the Hornets. But good.
Do we need to keep count?
That's number one. We can keep going.
I'm probably a little more negative towards officials than I should be, but a little too many flags in the first half for my taste.
Snap back goes to Harkey, but actually pulled and kept by Briar Jones, and Dakota Miles there to make the tackle. Short gain, if any, looks like maybe one for Jones on the keeper.
Yeah, just a little misdirection. It's really quarterback counter. You just try to run the back away to get flow with the linebackers and get your guard and tackle to pull and kick out. And Manila does a good job staying at home, making a play for a short gain.
Looks like a gain of 2, so it'll be 2nd and 8 from the Harrisburg 49 around midfield here. 2 backs now. He's going to give to Javen Thompson, who kind of stutters, and he's got a pack of lions chasing him, but he does a good job of getting around that, getting outside, and getting some positive yardage. Number 1, Javen Thompson over the left side.
Yeah, and it's just a good job of breaking an initial tackle in the backfield, getting to the sideline, getting a couple yards, get yourself in a third down and manageable. Big down right here for both teams. If you can get a conversion and keep the drive alive for Harrisburg, it's huge. You get a stop and get the ball back for Manila's equally huge.
Gets it across the midfield stripe to the Manila 49. It'll be 3rd and 6. Fitzgerald and Harkey in the backfield with Jones. Receivers split out each side. They're going to come to the right side and throw it to Rayford, and it falls at his feet, incomplete. So it'll be 4th and 6 there for Harrisburg.
And that's, we talked about that same RPO in the first half where you got the slant with the dive action going away from it. It's a little tougher for the quarterback when he's throwing right. He's got to flip his feet and, get that throw out there and just throws one in the dirt. Huge down right here for both schools. Manila gets a stop, and they've got great field position. Harrisburg gets first down, and they can continue this drive and try to get it extended in the lead.
2 up top on the left, 1 underneath to the right, and they're going to hit Rayford up the middle. Nice catch there over the middle by Remington Rayford.
Yeah, nice throwing catch. They've got great field position. Harrisburg gets first down, and they can continue this drive and try to get it extended in the lead.
2 up top on the left, 1 underneath to the right, and they're going to hit Rayford up the middle. Nice catch there. Died of Harkey, Rayford, and Javen Thompson for the Harrisburg Hornets, kind of spreading it out very nicely offensively.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good balance by the Harrisburg offense, and they've been content and, trying to run the clock and continue this ground game.
They'll give it to Rayford on the ground here out of the backfield, and he'll go over the right. Miles and number 3, Brady Cohn. Birmingham also in there.
A lot of good balance by the Harrisburg offense, and they've been content and, trying to run the clock and continue this ground game.
They'll give it to Rayford on the ground here.
Tackle for only a 1-yard gain.
1 yard gain, 2nd and 9. Clock ticking to about 8:40 now to go in this third quarter. As try the hard count to call him off, gives it to Harkey. He gets some space up the left side and middle. And it looks like he's going to get the first down as they wave it. Good, strong run there by Harkey. Not very big, but runs it strong.
Yeah.
About 8:40 now to go in this third quarter. As try the hard count to call him off. Gives it to Harkey. He gets some space up the left side and middle.
Especially when you're pulling guard and tackle on those counter plays. And there's a lot of white helmets moving around, and in between those tackles, it makes it hard to find that guy. He does a good job of keeping balance and getting up the field.
They're going to give it to him again. Goes left, cuts back middle, and he doesn't have a lot of room to run there. As 15, Dawson Howard in there with looks like maybe 27, Jacob Hall, sorry.
And, Jacob Hall, he's been a very active defender for Manila tonight. He's, got his hands up in the passing lane one time, knock it down. Doing a very good job off the edge, a lot for Manila tonight. And we've seen this down and distance a lot for Harrisburg tonight. Second and long, Manila needs to stop right here.
They're going to go to Harkey up the middle. And he's going to get a few. Birmingham in on that stop along with.
I really do like Harkey's suddenness. When he puts his foot in the ground and makes a cut, he's got some quickness about him. And, we talked about size, and he's got good speed. And, good little football player. He's been he's been kind of the core of Harrisburg's offense tonight. A little bit of pass mixed in here and there, but Harkey's been the go-to guy.
3rd and 6. They're going to pull it this time and hit Remington Rayford on that slant. He's going to be brought down immediately by Dakota Miles. Gets the ball to the 10, which is going to be just short, a yard or two of the first down, but it's 4th and 2 to be exact, and they're going to line up and go for it here.
Yeah, 4th and 2. It's that trap position where Manila really needs to watch the ball, not be drawn off sides right here. But I'd expect Harkey to try to move the chains.
Well, look at a hard count here.
They're going Javen Thompson.
Yeah, they're going to snap it directly to him, and he's going to try. He's going to get through initially. The line stopped him at about the line of scrimmage, but a good strong run and a roll to the left, and Javen Thompson gets the first down.
Yeah, just kept battling, kept pushing, kept fighting for yardage, and gets a big first down for Harrisburg.
You got a Manila line down in the backfield. Looks like number 3, Brady Kahn's shaking up on the play.
Well, good to see him up and making his way to the sideline.
Everybody got kind of stacked up there at the line, and everybody can step on something or twist something easily.
Yeah, it's just one of those, almost like the tush push that the Eagles run, where they, kind of get in there and get a big scrum and move the pile forward. That time is a little slower developing for Harrisburg, but Javen Thompson just got in behind those big boys up front and kept the pile moving and got the big first down.
Ball's at the 7, 1st and goal. Jones back in at quarterback, but Thompson is right beside him in the backfield. They're going to hand to Javen Thompson over the left side. He gains some room, slips a couple tackles, is going to get up to right at the goal line, but just short, so it's going to be 2nd and goal, maybe a yard.
And, Harrisburg, we're sitting here at 5 minutes to go in the third quarter and, coming off the second quarter that lasted, seemingly forever with all the flags and the extracurriculars. This has been a quick quarter so far, and now it's time for, Manila really needs to bow up right here and try to get a stop.
Direct snap to Thompson, and he's going to get met at the goal line. The ball was stripped, but I believe they blew it dead right before the ball was stripped at the 1.
Yeah, and that's one of those, once his momentum is stopped, and he's not trying to avoid.
Snap to Thompson, and he's going to get met at the goal line. The ball was stripped. Goal. The nose of the football is almost touching the goal line. Very, very short. You can't get any shorter. Let's see if they stick with. Looks like they're going to stick with Javen Thompson in the backfield. Direct snap. He's going to run it over the left side jump and score. Javen Thompson, number 1, out of I don't know if you call that a wildcat look.
Yeah,
just a direct snap. Touchdown. Very, very short. You can't get any shorter. Let's see if they stick with. Looks like they're going to stick with Javen Thompson in the backfield. Direct snap. He's going to run it over the left side jump and score. Javen Thompson. Conversion here with Briar Jones back at quarterback and Harkey in the backfield with him. A little heavy package on the left side. as they will throw out of it. He's going to look for Harkey in the flat. Good job there by, I believe, Hudson Harrison on the coverage and tackle, and that's going to be
2-point conversion is no good.
no good on the 2-point conversion. So with 4:22 to go in the third quarter, Harrisburg takes a 20-8 lead. We'll be right back here on NEA Sports.
The Harrisburg School District serves the community of Poinsett County to offer the highest quality education possible. From 3 little log huts in Poinsett County in 1868, the school system has undergone many changes. The district goals are to increase student achievement and to ensure the schools are trusted as a safe place for students, staff, and the community. The Harrisburg School District proudly supports the Harrisburg Hornets in all of their athletic endeavors.
The Harrisburg Athletic Booster Club is a proud supporter of today's game and all of the student athletes in the Harrisburg School District. Go Hornets!
Remington Raper set to kick off. Harrison and Miles deep. It's going to be a little pooch kick. Fair caught by number 9. That is Dylan Overman. And Manila Lions will take over for the first time in the second half of 4:21 here to go in the third quarter at about the 34-yard line. Harrisburg ground game, made a pass when they needed to and kind of controlled the clock and put some points on the board there to start this half.
Yeah, that was a big fourth down conversion for Harrisburg on the pass over the middle and you know, kept the drive alive and ended up with points. Now, this is a huge drive for Manila, especially after how much clock Harrisburg ate in that opening drive of the third quarter. It's big for them to, you know, get a few first downs and try to push it into Harrisburg territory.
Ball's at the 34, 1st and 10. Hand off to Hudson Harrison, and he has nowhere to go as number 35, Trenton Ramsey, was there, almost took the handoff.
Yeah, he was in the backfield, you know, very early and blew that play completely up, and you know, really has put Manila behind the chains early in this drive.
Loss of 2, 2nd and 12. Fisher and Harrison in the backfields. 2 split out to the right, 1 to the left, going to Harrison on the handoff, and he doesn't have very much room to run. 53. Peyton Bell, or Peyton Self, and 16 Adam Morgan there to combine on the stop. No
yeah,
gain.
And right now they're kind of running into, you know, what's becoming the strength of this Harrisburg defense with those big 4 up front. They've done a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage tonight.
So at 3rd and 12, the Lions are going to kind of talk about it here. Not 2 negative plays with 3:22 to go in the third. So the first time out for Manila, and we'll take it with them.
The City of Manila is a proud sponsor of Manila Public Schools and Manila Athletics. The city wants to wish the entire team best of luck in tonight's game and for the remainder of the season.
I think he says it in spite. Back here at Manila, where the Lions are facing a 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 with Fisher back to pass and looking for.
Fisher's pass falls incomplete.
You know,
Overman, there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, that's 2.
That is the second.
I think it's.
I think he says it in spite. Back here at Manila, where the Lions are facing a 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 with Fisher back to pass and looking for. So at the high school level, that's not an automatic.
Yep, that's an automatic first down. Yep.
15 yards.
He's first and 10 for the Lions.
Yep. Yeah, it's in high school football, that is, you know, the one thing that, you know, there's thinking of the uncatchable ball and, you know, the DB got his head turned around and all those rules are out the window. And in high school football, it's just cut and dry.
Ball's at the 46. Fisher back to throw, looking for Overman and possibly Weston Ezo, who's got the touchdown today, but that splits between them and falls incomplete.
And I like seeing Manila getting a little more aggressive here with the play calling. Just, you know, anytime you're 5-6 plays deep within a drive, the defensive line's starting to get a little more fatigued, so the pass rush shouldn't be as good. You know, he does a good job of putting that ball where his receiver's the only one that's got a shot at it. And, you know, I like it.
Harkey and Rapert were on coverage there, and Harkey limped off, so it'll be something to watch. Fisher to throw again, and that is intended for Overman, and a good play there by Rapert to knock it down.
Yeah, that's one of those football plays that's just good on both sides. You know, Patrick Fisher does a good job of you know, scrambling out to his right. He hits his man in stride, but safety comes over the top, and instead of trying to make contact with the receiver, which gives him a chance to hold on to the ball, he goes straight for the ball and knocks it out of his hands. So just a good play by both sides right there.
One thing with all the extracurriculars in the first half we didn't talk a lot about was the 3 turnovers that Harrisburg had that really kind of shifted the game in their favor. With a 20-8 lead, they're going to Harrison, and there's Self immediately hitting him on the handoff. Number 16. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam Morgan. Adam Morgan, number 16, in that. The first half we didn't talk a lot about was the 3 turnovers that Harrisburg had that really kind of shifted the game in their favor. With a 20-8 lead, they're going to Harrison, and there's Self immediately hitting him on the handoff.
Field and you know, stops the play before it has any legs to kind of grow, and just does a good job of getting penetration back there, making the tackle, now forcing a Manila punt.
Yeah, Fisher back deep, he's going to punt. There's a flag, and that's going to go way to the left, probably going to be out of bounds around midfield, if not on the Manila side, but there's a flag on the snap, third flag of the half.
Yeah, you know, normally from that position it'd be holding, but and he's looking toward the Harrisburg sideline to see what kind of decision they want.
It was thrown almost on the snap. I don't know.
That's a legal participation, which, you know, I don't know if they had 12 men on the field or they got a guy in there late, but Harrisburg declines it, and they're going to take that good field position off of the
Fisher had to move to his left on the snap and couldn't get a good boot on it, so Harrisburg with prime field position at their Manila 46 now, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and it, you know, with 2:17 to go in the third, it's, you know, a score right here would almost put the game out of reach. You know, the way the clocks moved in this second half.
So Briar Jones back at quarterback with Harkey next to him on the right. Tight formation, kind of jumbo set on the left side, and they're going to hand off to Harkey to go to that side. And he got tripped up there at around the 45-yard line.
Yeah, and
Birmingham 56 got in there with Harkey next to him on the right. Tight formation, kind of jumbo set on the left side, and they're going to hand off to Harkey to go to that side. And
Harkey's done a good job of one thing. He stays out of negative plays, you know, where even if it's a 1 or 2 yard gain, he always kind of finds a way to fall forward and get something positive out of it.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Javen Thompson now in the backfield, and he'll take it over the right side, and he's got a lot of space right here. He's got 2 line defenders. He's going to run out of bounds at about the 12-yard line, but a lot of space over here, and he's kind of clutching at his
finds a way to fall forward and get something positive out of it.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Javen Thompson now in the backfield, and he'll take it over the right side, and he's got a lot of space right here. He's got 2 line defenders. He's going to run out of bounds. Harkey off that play in the secondary, he limped off kind of the same style, so some cramps kind of setting in here. Maybe both sides, like you talked about in pregame, like this time of night, this time of the game, going both ways. Who's got a
Yep. And, I mean, these guys are really, kind of playing both sides of the ball. They're getting double the snaps, and fatigue is going to set in, and then it really kind of comes into picture how they kind of take care of themselves during the week, and what they've got, kind of holding over from last week if got any injuries, and these guys are warriors though, and it's impressive to watch these guys play both sides of the ball and fight through it and continue to play good football.
That was a delay of game before the snap, so it's 1st and 15. Harkey back with Jones. And he's going to get it over the left side, break a couple tackles before, and they're still battling. Looks like they blow it dead now as Brady Kahn led the charge there to stop Harkey.
And continue to play good football.
That was a delay of game before the snap, so it's 1st and 15. Harkey back with Jones. And he's going to get it over the left side, break a couple tackles before.
That you call it a G play where, it's same side, but the guard kicks out the end, everybody blocks down, and he does a good job of getting right inside that kick out block and getting up inside, and now they've got a 2nd and short from, they can get a first down inside the 2, but they're in here tight.
Briar Jones going to keep this one over the left side and get stretched out and run out of bounds. See where they spot him at, if he's got the first down or not.
I think it's going to be just a little bit short, and they're going to have a 3rd down to get a conversion here with 30 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. But they're in here tight.
Briar Jones going to keep this one over the left side and get stretched out and run out of bounds. 30 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. 20-8, Harrisburg with the lead over Manila, and they're driving in to extend that. Play clock now below 10. They just had a delay of game, but they're lined up with now to go. They're going to keep Jones over the other side. He's got a gap. He's going to keep it and run it in himself. Called his own number for the touchdown. Briar Jones in for Harrisburg, and that extends the lead to 26-8, Harrisburg Hornets.
Yeah, that's that same down and distance we've seen, Javen Thompson in there throughout the night, but with him, maybe going through some cramps on the sideline.
Jones over the other side. He's got a gap. He's going to keep it and run it in himself. Had a big gap to run through that O-line as they created space, and they're going to line up for the 2-point conversion here to try to extend this lead to 20. Harkey over the right side gets a couple blocks, and he crosses the goal line to convert the 2-point conversion. And with 26 seconds left to go in the quarter, it's 28-8 Harrisburg, and our 5th flag of the quarter has been thrown well after the play here.
Oh, 6.
And another one. That's the 6th one. So we'll see what that is when we come back here. We'll take a break here. 28-8, Harrisburg leads Manila on NEA Sports. Back here at Manila High School, NEA Sports coverage of high school football as the Harrisburg Hornets take a 28-8 lead over the Manila Lions off the Briar Jones touchdown, and the 2-point conversion was good as Remington Raper will kick off for the Hornets. Hudson Harrison.
What's that old saying? If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around, does it make a sound?
Well, we had 2 flags at offsetting penalties, unsportsmanlike like personal fouls.
Did we count those?
Dead time. Yeah, I mean, they go down. It's, I think, 5 and 6 of the half. Harrison going to catch it off the bounce, and he's got a little room down the sideline. And Rapert knocks him out of bounds, but good job there. Harrison a few times. Hudson Harrison has made something out of nothing.
He really has. He really has. And, you know, unfortunately for Harrison, he's been too close to the sidelines on both those times where he's got the edge on him and just ran out of space. But, yeah, just a great job of catching that ball off the bounce and getting up the sideline.
Good field position here for the Lions at their own 49. Here at midfield. 20 seconds to go in the third. They had negative plays pretty much the last time out with a penalty that gave them a first down, so they're trying to get some offense going here in the second half. Their second possession is Harrisburg has controlled the time of possession, and now there's a lot of confusion on where to line up even. They're going to give it to Hudson Harrison. He's going to get dragged down in the backfield by Fitzgerald. And he's probably going to lose maybe a yard to the 48 here. Be 2nd and 11.
Yeah, just a nice job of getting enough jersey on Hudson Harrison to get him down.
Yes, that was.
And that brings us to the end of
Trenton
the third quarter.
And we get to 0. So after 3, your score Harrisburg 28, Manila 8. We'll be back here with fourth quarter action on NEA Sports.
Hey, Northeast Arkansas, Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually, we are. We're at the top of our game, bringing NEA incredible selection and exceptional service. To back that, Central was awarded, yet again, General Motors Mark of Excellence. From Chevy to Toyota, Nissan to Ford, we have the perfect ride waiting for you and the best service to get it to you. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today or shop us online.
We are back here at Manila High School for fourth quarter action as the Harrisburg Hornets lead Manila 28-8 on Lions homecoming. I saw the class of 1985 make their way to the exit. Maybe a little too late for those ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, let's not age discriminate there. They're probably just going to an after party.
Oh, yeah, after party. Strong after party here. Maybe at the depot. We don't know. Snap to Fisher. He's going to throw an out route here to a little screen pass to Hudson Harrison. He's going to fight for a few yards.
And, you know, just the loss of Brody Morris early in the first half has really limited, you know, playmakers on Manila's offensive side of the ball and you know, really put the onus on Hudson Harrison to really be the bell cow for them, and Harrisburg defense just making it tough on them so far.
So 3rd and 10. He got back to the original line of scrimmage. 3 wide on the right, 1 on the left. Hudson Harrison in the backfield. Pass intended for Miles falls incomplete.
Not a lot of time there. He slides a little bit to his left and you know, evades the first bit of pressure, but you know, ultimately didn't have anybody open downfield and throws it away.
Guzman there on the coverage, and it's 4th and 10 for the Lions. Looks like they are in formation to go for it here, trying to get something going and make a fourth quarter comeback here, down 28-8. As the snap is low, Fisher handles it. He's going to throw it, and There is no one in that vicinity. I don't know if it's confusion, if Miles or who, but he was pressured in the backfield.
Yeah, and just right now there's just too much pressure in Patrick Fisher's face to have any time for, the deeper routes that they need to get a first down for them to get anything open.
Ramsey and Self feeling on the pressure there and it's a turnover on downs with 11:44 to play in this one, and a 28-8 lead. Harrisburg will take over again with Briar Jones at quarterback.
Yeah, and some scores from around the area. Valley View's winning 35-0. I think that game's about to go final. Jonesboro is leading Little Rock Catholic in the fourth quarter, 24-7, and over in Newport's got a 26-10 advantage over Osceola. That's a big 3-4A contest.
Briar Jones, the keeper, over the right side, cuts back middle. Miles will make the stop in the secondary, but not before a first down gain by Harrisburg.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see Harrisburg content with, working as much of the play clock as they can and trying to grind this quarter out and get it to the house.
Which time of possession has definitely been in the Hornets' favor this half, as they've controlled the ball for the majority of this second half.
Yeah, the second half has really come down. It's been a lot cleaner played half of football, but it's come down to, third and fourth down conversions, and Harrisburg's made them and Manila hasn't.
Hand off to Grayson Harkey again up the middle. He's going to get enough for the first down. Connor Finley with the stop.
Harkey's proven tonight that he's a guy that can be a 20-plus carry a night kind of guy and kind of carry the mail for the Hornets. And now it looks like Javen Thompson, back in the game. He got fresh out of the cramps and he's ready to roll.
They're going to give it to him over the left side. He's going to gain positive yardage there before number 15, Dawson Howard, and 69.
Thompson, back in the game. He got fresh out of the cramps and he's ready to roll.
They're going to give it to him over the left side. He's going to gain positive yardage there.
Size advantage on the line of scrimmage for Harrisburg, paying dividends. You can, you just by the naked eye, you can look out there and see the, a little bit bigger boy on in the white jerseys, and they're controlling the line of scrimmage right now.
Thompson's going to go to the right side. There's a flag on the play, and we'll see if this one comes back after the tackle.
Yeah, I think, anytime the umpire calls that, it's either going to be a hold or a false start on the offense.
And it's a hold on Harrisburg, so this one will come back with 9:59 to go in the game, 28-8, Harrisburg lead.
And, honestly, if you're Harrisburg right now and you get backed up, you're probably not too upset about it because you just content with running clock.
Brooklyn leading Greene County Tech 24-7 over, I believe that one's at Brooklyn in the 5A East.
Boy, Brooklyn and Nettleton had them a barn burner last week that went into overtime and
down to a 2-point conversion attempt for the win for the Raiders. Javen Thompson's going to go over the left side and knock one off and tripped up by a few lines on this side.
And he just uses size right there with the stiff arm.
We've got a flag over on the opposite side. I think we're up to.
Is that 7?
8.
8.
Back-to-back plays here. It's going to be a hold on the Hornets. Going away from the play there, looked like on the backside. So back them up again and be a longer second down.
Do officials get bonuses for the amount of flags thrown, or do they get a flat rate?
I've done some officiating. I've never been paid by the whistle.
Oh,
So.
well, that's a shame. Because if they were getting paid by the flag thrown tonight, they'd be making a lot of money.
Second and about 22 now for Harrisburg. Javen Thompson still in the backfield with Jones. They're going to go to him over the right side. He's going to get 2 or 3 before he's met. Finley in there on that tackle as well. Javen Thompson still in the backfield with Jones. They're going to go to him over the right side. He's going to get 2 or 3 before he's met.
The clock continued to run. I would be surprised if they put the ball in the air any here, even with 3rd and 20, unless they feel that it's a very, very high percentage pass, maybe one of those quick screens.
They're going to go to the quick screen to Raypert. He's going to get a few yards before he's met by number 4, Aiden Sharp, who makes this
percentage pass, maybe one of those quick screens.
They're going to go to the quick screen to Raypert. He's going to get a few yards before he's met by.
And, that's just an extension of the run game. You try to get it out there and nice, safe, high percentage pass where give your guy a chance and space to make a play and get some of that long yardage back. 4th and 15 here, and they're using every second of this play call timeout.
Yeah,
Yep.
they ran it all the way down to 0 before they called timeout. With 8:18 to go in the game, Harrisburg leads at 28-8, and we'll take a quick break. Be back here on NEA.
No matter what the job calls for, contractors can count on Barton's. With your own dedicated sales representative, you'll get personalized support and accurate material takeoffs to keep your project on budget. Need flexible financing? We offer in-house accounts and financing options. Plus, take advantage of our product holding, on-site delivery, and professional installation of flooring, cabinets, and vanities. Supplying local contractors for 140 years. Visit us online at bartons.com. Build it better with Barton's.
Since 1945, we've been more than just a bank. We've been deeply rooted in communities across Arkansas, growing alongside the families and businesses we serve. We started the Farmers and Merchants Bank in Stuttgart, Arkansas 80 years ago to ensure working folks could borrow money to run their farms, fund their businesses, and build their families' futures. Today, Farmers and Merchants Bank is proud to continue supporting our communities, including our students and athletes. Farmers and Merchants Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're back here at Manila High School as we are grinding out the end of this one. 8:18 left on the clock in this game as the Hornets are trying to run the clock down. They got a 4th and 15, but they're going to draw the lines offside with a hard count. And officials are asking each other what we called.
And, that
so it's going to be 4th and 10 now.
4th and 10, where 4th and 15, you may just run it to keep the clock moving. 4th and 10, you're probably going to try to put it in the air and see what can happen.
So Briar Jones back to pass. Thrown up to Javen Thompson, and he's going to make the catch around the 6-yard line.
Call is the pass was completed.
Here and see what can happen.
So Briar Jones back to pass. Thrown up to, and he's going to make the catch around. So clock stops again at 8:10. And there's another.
Yeah.
Now, here's the one thing you kind of think of as a coach at this point where, any flags, injections right here, it goes by quarters. So you got 4 quarters. So at this point, if you get thrown out, you're out the entirety of the next game. So
unsportsmanlike against Manila on that play. So that'll be about half the distance to the goal. It'll be 1st and goal. at about the 3-yard line.
And with that, it'll bring first and goal for the Hornets.
Snap to Jones. He's going to give it to Harkey over the side. And number 15, Dawson Howard with the stop short of the goal line.
And they give it to Harkey right there with the, that action with the guards pulling out in front, kind of buck sweep action. And, he tries to cut it back inside to get to the goal line quickly. And just a nice play by Manila's defense. Forcing another down, but, again, Harrisburg is content with just letting the clock run.
We're going to put Thompson in at quarterback now. Direct snap to him. He's going to go right up the middle. And a good job there. Birmingham in on that tackle along with 56.
David Thompson on the carry.
Caleb Burke. Put Thompson in at quarterback now. Direct snap to him. He's going to go right up the middle. And a good job there. Birmingham in on that tackle along with 56.
Good job of getting in there and making a stop.
So 3rd down and goal from about the 2-yard, 2-ish, 1-ish. Down there close. 6:50 now to go. They're going to give it to Fitzgerald over the right side, and he's going to get in for the Harrisburg Hornet touchdown. So Fitzgerald gets in the end zone for the first time tonight. Down there close, 6:50 now to go. They're going to give it to Fitzgerald over the right side, and he's going to get in for the Harrisburg Hornet touchdown. So give it to Fitzgerald again over the right side, and he's going to be stopped short there. Finley in on the tackle. Cohen Finland on the tackle, and that's going to keep the score at 34-8 with 6:48 to play in this one here at Manila. Harrisburg leads the Manila Lions 34-8. We'll be right back here on NEA.
Prestige Plumbing offers a wide range of residential and commercial services to meet every customer's needs. Whether it be new construction or a remodel, Prestige Plumbing is fast and efficient with the best quality service for their customers. From water leaks to slab leaks to new sewer lines or handicap showers, Prestige Plumbing should be your first call for all your plumbing needs.
Be sure to watch the NEA Sports Network as we bring you live coverage this football season. From week 0 to the playoffs, we bring you rivalries and great matchups to go along with championship coverage. Be sure to watch each game at the NEA Sports Facebook page or the NEA Sports YouTube page. NEA Sports, putting Northeast Arkansas student athletes first.
Milligan Heating and AC works to serve the Northeast Arkansas community in meeting all of your HVAC needs. Give Justin Milligan a call at 870-243-2820.
We are back here at Manila High School. 6:48 to go in this one. 34-8. Harrisburg leads Manila. Raper with the pooch kick on the side is fair caught by number 9, Dylan Overman. And the Lions will take over at about the 38-yard line with 6:48 to go in this one, like we said. NEA Sports on their own bye week next week. No game on NEA Sports, but join us back in 2 weeks as we travel back over here to Mississippi County for that good old Mississippi County rivalry. Osceola will go to Rivercrest, and what's one of the better, especially football rivalries in this area.
It doesn't get any better than that. I think of going to Rivercrest and being at the Cotton Patch, but I know it's not the Cotton Patch anymore. But you get Osceola and Rivercrest together, and it's going to be heated.
No doubt. Lions take over at the 38, 1st and 10. Snap to Fisher, hands off to Hudson Harrison, who has nowhere to go. It's 35. Trenton Ramsey, and that's about the 3rd or 4th time this half where Ramsey could almost take the handoff and himself, and he's get back there so quickly.
Yeah, he's done a really good job of just getting penetration, from that defensive tackle spot into the backfield, and like you said, almost taking the handoff and, really forcing, Manila after first down to be really behind the chains and fighting for first downs every time.
2nd and about 14. Going to try to dump it off to Hudson Harrison, and he's going to get some positive yards out of it.
Nice job by Harrison there, catching that low ball and getting up the field for a gain of 6 or 7, and just a nice catch and run.
Maybe some confusion. I think some people thought that might have hit the ground, but they're going to spot it up here at the 40. You can make it 3rd down and 8. And if the clock has, well, he ran out of bounds, so with 6:02 to go. So 3rd and 8, ball's on the Manila 40.
I'd look something one-on-one out here on the right side.
They're looking for Miles, and that is nowhere close. Manila faithful wanting a flag on the hand fighting. That's going to fall incomplete, and there's going to be a flag on the play after.
Well, we got the flag, but I think they're calling it for after the play instead of during the play, unfortunately. Is that 11?
I believe 11 for this half.
I think we had to at least be double that in the first half, right?
I think second quarter we doubled. Unsportsmanlike on the lines. So that'll back them up and be 4th down because that would be after the play, correct?
That is correct, sir. Which I think at this point you put, trips to one side or twins to one side and single the other and go for the one-on-one.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty.
You spoke of the Nettleton Raiders. They got a victory at Paragould tonight. Looked like 29-6, maybe the final score there in that 5A East clash.
And it'll bring up 3rd and long.
So it's going to be 4th and about 28. As they're going to stop play. Yeah, it's 4th down. Making sure the down marker's correct.
Direction, it'll be 4th and long.
The penalty came after the last play, so 3rd down happened. So 4th and 28. We're at 5:58 to go in this one. As Fisher takes the snap. Harrison in the backfield. Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to keep it himself. Tackled by Fitzgerald at the 30-yard line, and that'll be a turnover on downs. But there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think they're going to get holding on Manila right there, which, I think Harrisburg will decline. Kind of going back to, what we talked about pregame. After this game, Harrisburg's got 2 wins in the conference, and right there in the mix for playoff seed.
Especially with the 5 teams going to the playoffs out of this conference, they're in the mix for one of those playoff berths, and so their second it probably will be their second win in as many weeks.
I got a little tickled by the fans there.
They will travel to Harrisburg. I'm sorry, Harrisburg will travel to Osceola next week. They'll host Hoxie and Walnut Ridge in back-to-back weeks, and then finish the year at Newport. So
doesn't get any easier.
No, in a conference that's so top-heavy.
Yeah.
With Rivercrest, Osceola, Walnut Ridge, and
Newport,
and the Hoxie. The traditional powers. There's 5 spots, but really probably only 1 or 2 they're looking at. So
right, but if you think about, just being realistic, if you look at the Hoxie game, that could be for the 5 seed.
Could be for the 5th spot. Osceola, a winnable game maybe for them next week. But a lot on the table here for the Hornets. They're going to reverse it over here to Fitzgerald maybe.
and in that condensed formation, that's a little double handoff is what ends up being an inside trap.
And an unsportsmanlike against Manila after the play.
13.
And there's another one. And they're going to get, I believe, Harrisburg this time.
This is insane. I guess they're trying to take control.
And
they're offset. We will continue to play. I think it's 13. I've lost count, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's 13. But you just hate it because one, you're trying to, from an official's point of view, you're trying to gain control or seeming control of the game, but in doing so, a lot of times you got to step back and say you're dousing fire on it instead of getting control. You're adding more your fuel to it, and just compounding the emotions on both sides of the ball.
The Lions are looking at a trip to Newport next week. They'll host Piggott in a couple weeks with Rivercrest and Osceola, and there's a flag on this one. It's going to be false start, so we'll back them up 5.
Yeah, so it's just it's a brutal conference. I mean, when you look at it, because of like you said, how top heavy it is with
Walnut Ridge was at Piggott tonight. I don't have a score there. You said Newport was in control of that game with Osceola, and Rivercrest traveled to Hoxie. Don't have a score on that one, so run over the right side, a flag on the play. It must be the curse of the even numbers. First and third quarter went by very quickly, and then the second and fourth have dragged on.
Yeah, it's definitely put a damper on Friday night. Although I'm still in love with it.
That's very understandable.
Call is unsportsmanlike against the Lions.
Had to be from the sideline, right? Just turn your rabbit ears off. Let's finish this game. There's 5 minutes left.
I'd be trying to get the clock right.
Yeah, that's
unsportsmanlike on Manila. The White had explained to the interim coach, and he's not happy, so he's having a Coach Morgan there from Manila talking about maybe the same thing, guys. We're trying to get to the end of this.
Yeah.
Let's just play. So we're under 5 minutes, 4:57 to go in the game. 34-8, Harrisburg leads.
And what maybe should have happened early in the second quarter, we're doing with 4:57 to go in the fourth.
I guess we had a powwow with the referees, telling everybody to clean it up or whatever. But like you said, that maybe should have happened earlier in the game.
Right.
A little late for that.
After the penalty, bring a first and goal for the Hornets.
So it's inside the 10, first and goal. Snap to Jones, hand off to Hart. Nope, Jones keeps it. Shakes out of a tackle, gets back to about the line script. Ball pops out. And battle for it. And it stays with Harrisburg. Nope, never mind. He pointed the other way, and it's now Manila's. Pointed initially there.
Well,
Birmingham maybe on the recovery.
Like to see the effort there by Manila and getting a stop.
So turnover to the Lions, 4:47 to go in this one. They'll have it first and 10. Looks like they spotted it about the 14, 15-yard line.
The first and 10 for Manila from around the 15-yard line.
Fisher at quarterback. Harrison in the backfield with him. Two to the left, two to the right for his wideouts. They're going to hand off to Hudson Harrison. He's up the left side. A little room to run and gains.
Number 1, Hudson Harrison on the carry.
He's a little slow to get up here, so they're going to have
I think
him
we've got a man down.
Yeah, I think that's Harrison.
Harrison's over here.
Never mind. So as they check on the injured player, we'll take a commercial. Be right back here on any.
Ask someone about their favorite show, there's a good chance it's on CBS or Fox, 2 of the most popular networks in the country. When you ask someone where they go for local news and information, they usually say Northeast Arkansas News. When you ask someone how they grew their business, they'll probably tell you they advertise with KJNB. When you add it all up, top-rated networks, local focus, and dynamic advertising, you get more than just a TV station. You'll get a hometown friend. KJNB. This is who we are. This is home.
Our journey began way back in 1891 with a group of folks who believed that this community deserved a local bank. Well, it's been over 130 years, and we're still the only true community bank in Northeast Arkansas. Our core beliefs in supporting the places that we call home hasn't changed, and it never will. We care about you. We care about our communities, because every journey matters.
We're back here at Manila High School as they bring Weston Ezel to the sideline. Looks like a lower leg injury. 4:38 to go in this one. 34-8. Harrisburg leads the Manila Lions. As we're
you just hate to see that
late
in the game, and all the kids are playing hard, but you hate to see it.
So after that, it'll be 2nd and short.
2nd and 1 for the Lions.
As Fisher will take the snap, give it to Harrison. He gets over the left side. Around,
Number 1, Hudson Harrison on the carry.
2 guys down, but they pop out. I'm not sure where they're going to spot him.
Looks like they're going to spot him up close to the 30-yard line, so that's going to be enough for a first down.
They're going to give him the first down on the spot.
Great balance there by Mr. Harrison spinning out of that tackle.
It looked like he was stopped 2 yards short, just kept kind of turning and churning. So good, strong run there. So 1st and 10 now. Ball at about the 27-yard line. Hand off to Harrison. Tries to get over the left side. Not much cooking there as he gets a couple. So it'll be about 2nd and 9.
And I'll tell you, he's an impressive player. He really is. The Harrison kid is, we've seen it in the return game. We've seen it as a receiver and in the backfield. He's a good player.
Yeah, shifty, kind of finds gaps and makes moves, and then gets some extra yardage after hit.
Good quickness. And
clock ticks under 4 minutes left in this one. We spoke about the Osceola Rivercrest game in 2 weeks. There'll be a bye for Halloween, and then 2 more rivalries to finish the year here on NEA Sports. Mark Tree at EPC on November 6th, and the following night, Walnut Ridge at Hoxie on November 7th.
Well, those are some 3 heated rivalries that you cap it off the year with Walnut Ridge at Hoxie.
You made a list of biggest rivalries in the area. Those 3 would be kind of at the top of the list.
They're toward the top because and maybe Walnut Ridge Hoxie, at the top. That's like am I wrong? They cut that game out for a while when they weren't in the same conference. Isn't that correct?
I'm not real sure on that.
Because I think it got a little heated after a couple contests, and they kind of cut that game out for a few years, and then it's back, and now they're in the same conference, and cap off the year with that rivalry game. That's a good way to end the season. We got a few of those around here. You think about Paragould and Greene County Tech.
Paragould, Greene County Tech to that list. No matter where they're at, they finish the year. That's always a hotly contested game. And
I think you mentioned earlier during one of our breaks the Valley View Nettleton always around Halloween.
On
week.
Halloween this year, it's always. It seems to be, and it's been that way for the last few years. Halloween week, and there's always major playoff implications, if not conference championship implications in that one.
And it doesn't matter who's kind of favored. That game's always close.
Always. And that's the thing about these rivalry games. That's the way it always be. No
Yep.
matter if one team's having a little down year or whatever, it's always going to be hotly contested as that pass falls incomplete on 4th and 13. So it'll be turnover on downs to the Harrisburg Hornets as they lead this one 34-8 with 1:57 to go here in Manila.
Yeah, and I got to think if you're thinking about kind of the players of the game that aren't yellow, because I think if you looked at the overall picture of the game, the penalty flag has played a large portion in the outcome. Didn't determine the winner, I don't think, but it definitely was a key contributor. Mr. Harkey for Harrisburg has been kind of the bell cow, and I don't know if you normally think of somebody who's probably 5'5", 135 pounds being the bell cow, but he has definitely been that guy tonight.
He has definitely toted the rock and controlled the game here as Harrisburg is going to take a knee and try to run this one down.
Brian Jones with the quarterback kneel.
And they should be able to get it down to game, it's going to be close, but they're going to be able to run the clock out completely. And, officials can take 3 or 4 seconds in between each play, spot the ball, so.
Harrisburg will move to 2-1 inside the 3A-3. 2-4 overall, 2 wins in a row now for the Hornets.
And who would think, they'd be sitting ahead of Osceola at this point in the season
and going
in the
to
conference
Osceola
standings.
Next week. So
going to Osceola.
Turns into a big game next week for both those teams.
Huge game next week.
Walnut Ridge and Rivercrest undefeated going into tonight and both on the road at 2-0 in the conference. Newport moves to 2-1. Harrisburg at 2-1. Osceola at 1-2. Not sure of those outcomes. So Hoxie and Piggott at 1-1, 0-2 going into tonight. We're not sure about where they will be after tonight, but that'll be the last kneel down. This clock will run out before the play clock expires, so that'll be the end of the ball game. Harrisburg is going to take this 3A-3 conference battle with a 34-8 victory over the Manila Lions and move to 2-1 in the conference and set up a big-time matchup next week. Osceola for a lot of playoff implications.
Big playoff implications because the guy who wins is in the driver's seat for that last playoff spot.
And, a lot of chaos and a lot of things going on in the first half, but, when it came to the second half, Harrisburg kind of controlled the clock, controlled the ball. We talked about Harkey, Thompson, Jones making plays with Rayford and just grinding it out and putting points on the board, kind of controlling and owning the second half to kind of take this victory.
Really came out third quarter, took the ball and took a 7+ minute drive and, extended the lead to a 2-score lead. And, after that, there was too much for Manila to come back from.
So that'll do it here from Manila and Mississippi County. 34-8. Again, the final, Harrisburg over Manila. Coach, enjoyed working with you.
Yes,
First
sir.
time we've got to do it.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe more in the future, but we're going to call this one a night and head down the road, a bye week next week. So join NEA Sports in 2 weeks at Rivercrest, at the Tez, as they call it, as Osceola travels to Rivercrest. So for Randy Coleman, Ryan Fletcher, and the NEA Sports crew, we will say goodbye from Manila, and good night.
At Glensane, we know extra time is hard to come by. Your hands are full, your days are packed, and time doesn't slow down. We work hard when you have a service issue. With full service centers at each of our 4 locations, we will always do our best to make it convenient for you and your busy lifestyle. Thank you for trusting our family with your family for over 70 years.
A Ritter Go-Getter gets everything done, and Ritter Gig Internet can handle a ton. You'll create art for the whole world to see, find new ways to support all your teams, and arrange new arrangements for arranging your screens. You'll game, you'll stream, you'll bike till you can't. Create filtered water for you and your plants, or watch video instructions for hemming your pants. With Ritter Internet, look at all you'll accomplish. Connect all your devices and, schmabomplish? With Wi-Fi this fast, there can be none better. So get in touch and be a Ritter Go-Getter.
Prestige Plumbing offers a wide range of residential and commercial services to meet every customer's needs. Whether it be new construction or a remodel, Prestige Plumbing is fast and efficient with the best quality service for their customers. From water leaks to slab leaks to new sewer lines or handicap showers, Prestige Plumbing should be your first call for all your plumbing needs.
Be sure to watch the NEA Sports Network as we bring you live coverage this football season. From week 0 to the playoffs, we bring you rivalries and great matchups to go along with championship coverage. Be sure to watch each game at the NEA Sports Facebook page or the NEA Sports YouTube page. NEA Sports, putting Northeast Arkansas student athletes first.
Milligan Heating and AC works to serve the Northeast Arkansas community in meeting all of your HVAC needs. Give Justin Milligan a call at 870-243-2820.
Basketball star Austin Reeves is part of the Central Dealerships team. And just like Austin, we want you to join our team as well. So score big with your new or used vehicle from Central today. Central Dealerships is not one to brag, but actually we are. Central was awarded, yet again, General Motors Mark of Excellence. We have the perfect ride waiting for you and exceptional service. So find your next vehicle at a Central dealership today.